Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Great Minnesota Give Together. My name is Jasmine Brett Stringer, and I am here with
Val Arsvold, the Executive Director of the Minnesota FFA Foundation. We are so excited to be here. This is a return visit for us. How many years have we been at this, Jasmine?
I can't believe it, Val. 7 years?
It's amazing. But you know,
6 years live at the Minnesota State Fair.
This came out of COVID as a way to connect people to the wonderful, inspiring stories of FFA and young people. And we decided to keep the fun going. And what a better place. There is no better place than here at the State Fair.
Oh, my goodness. There is no better place than here at the Minnesota State Fair in front of the FFA Chapter House next to the CHS Miracle of Birth Center. What could be better?
Well, telling FFA stories is always important, and it's always a really fun treat. But something that's really special about tonight is that we're here to raise dollars to put opportunities in front of students. And so this is the Telethon. So let's tell our audience, both here in person and those joining us online, what does that mean, Jasmine?
That means that we want you to support the FFA Minnesota Foundation and help us support the amazing students that participate in FFA by giving. And it's super easy to give, Val. How can they do that?
Well, first off, visit us online at MNFFA Foundation, as well as text a gift to the Minnesota FFA Foundation. To do that, you're going to text Great Min Gives to 50155.
I'm going to repeat that, Val. That's Great MN Gives, GIVES, to 50155 to give. So Great MN Gives with a S, GIVES, to 50155.
Let's talk a little bit. We're going to get the program started here quickly, but I want to give a little lay of the land for anybody who's watching. This year is really special because in addition to us telling stories about FFA kind of across the state, we've embedded a talent contest here.
I am so excited because we know that our FFA students are not just whiz in agriculture and parliamentary procedures and all of those things, but they've got some talent. It's like FFA's got talent.
Exactly. So throughout the evening, we're going to have FFA members perform. We've got singers, we've got a dancer, we've got a young person who sings and plays the guitar. So you're not going to be bored. In fact, you're going to be inspired.
Yeah, and I want to say, like, if you are watching this online and you're on your way to the Minnesota State Fair this evening, this afternoon, make sure you stop by and say hello to us.
We would love to have you here in person, but again, it's about hearing stories and connecting with the valuable work that FFA does for young people.
Yeah, and you know, Val, today would not be possible without our amazing Blue Ribbon sponsors. So I just want to take a few minutes to acknowledge them and say thank you so much to Ag Country, Ag Partners, CoBank, Dakota Elks, Land O'Lakes, Minnesota State Southern Agriculture Center of Excellence, and then a special thanks to Ron and Judy Nelson for their matching donation.
You know, I think we're famous for saying something, that there is no gift.
There's no gift too big or too small. And so we want to encourage you again to give by texting. Val, what's that number?
It is Great MN Gives to 50155. And again, you can visit us on our website as well. Well, one of the cool things, like we said, we're going to travel the state and hear from FFA members, both through a video roll as well as here in person. And we probably should get started. What do you think?
I think so.
All right, so we're going to start in the northwestern part of the state. We serve our students through Region 1. So please join us as we get ready to hear from some of our FFA members up in the northwestern part of the state.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Greater Minnesota Give Together. My name is Amanda Semmers. I work as the program coordinator here for the Minnesota FFA Foundation, and I am thrilled to have this very special guest with me today. Please introduce yourself, Luke.
Yeah, so my name is Luke McCrae, and I'm currently serving as our Minnesota FFA state president for this coming year.
Luke is one of the first recipients. He got his jacket through the Blue Jackets Bright Futures program. And what that program is sponsors can sponsor a jacket for $95 for an FFA member who may not be able to afford a jacket because of the cost. Luke, tell us about that very first jacket you received and what that felt like when you zipped up that jacket for the very first time.
Yeah, so I actually remember right before I got my first FFA jacket, I was actually in the state convention with my chapter for the first time. And I was in the elevator, and someone looks at my jacket, and they call me Jackson. And my name's Luke, my name's not Jackson, but I was wearing someone else's jacket for my chapter. And then it was actually just about a few weeks after that I learned that I was going to be getting my own FFA jacket through the Blue Jacket Bright Futures program. So I was able to get a jacket through that, and it just meant so much to be able to...
Your mic on. Is your mic on? Yep, it's on. No, keep going.
Okay. So it just meant so much to be able to have a jacket then that had my name on it. And for me, it was almost like a spark. I had something that was kind of my stake in FFA. This was my own jacket. This was my own piece. And then from there, I continued to just be more and more involved with FFA.
There is nothing more special than zipping up a jacket for the very first time and the impact that it can make on our young people throughout Minnesota FFA. And Luke is a testament to that, right? He zipped up his very first jacket, and he is now the state FFA president. We always say it gives members the gift of a lifetime, because maybe you wouldn't have been able to have that jacket or experience FFA without it. Tell me a little more. How many chapters are there in Minnesota?
Yeah, so right now we have a little over 220 FFA chapters in Minnesota all across the state, serving our over 16,000 FFA members.
So we have 16,000 FFA members who need a jacket to officially fit with the Minnesota FFA, right? And so we are always looking for sponsors for that program. As we mentioned while the music was playing, and maybe you couldn't hear it, but for $95, people are able to sponsor through that program. Over the course of the program, Luke, do you know how many Minnesota FFA members have benefited from this program? Do you have a guess?
Yeah, we were talking about this a little earlier, and I'm pretty sure it's in the several thousands. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have had over 5,000 FFA members benefit from this program through the course of the entirety. That is incredible, the impact that this program is making. Tell us a little bit about what you would say to a sponsor who is considering sponsoring the program. What impact does that jacket have on you?
Yeah, so whenever you have an FFA jacket, like I mentioned, it's your own piece in an organization. It means that you belong. That whenever you go to state convention and you're surrounded by 7,000 other members who are also there, you have a jacket that fits in with everyone else, but it has your own name with it. And to be able to give a member a piece in an organization like that, to give them something that gives them that feeling of belonging in an organization, it's much more than just a jacket. It has the potential to ignite an entire FFA career for them and an entire future.
That is incredible. So if folks are thinking about how to sponsor the jacket, there are many ways that they can give. They can go to the Minnesota FFA Foundation website. They can donate to today's telethon, and you could mark in your intentions that you'd love to support the program. Or you can text to give. And all of that you can find on our Minnesota FFA Foundation website. Luke, we're really excited to have you here today. What words of advice do you have for fairgoers who maybe aren't familiar with FFA? Why should they support? What impact does that make on nearly 16,000 Minnesota FFA members?
Yeah, I mean, FFA, we're very much rooted in agriculture, but I think it's also important to realize that that doesn't mean that we're just in farming. It's not just the corn that you see when you go through the fields. It's much more. We all benefit from agriculture, whether it's the food we eat every day, whether it's the clothes that we wear. We all have some sort of stake in our agricultural industry. And because of that, I believe it's important to support FFA. We're growing those leaders within our industry who are going to be able to change our world.
The Minnesota FFA is a great organization to be part of, and we are really excited for you to learn more about the FFA if you're not familiar tonight. But we are so thankful for having you here tonight, and we really look forward to your support. If you're interested, you can go to the Minnesota FFA Foundation website and make a donation right away tonight. Thank you for being here, Luke. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're just getting started. There's so many great people to visit with tonight. Come on over, Ashley Croson. We want the group to meet you today. FFA does not just happen. It is an organization that's run by talented leaders across the state, and they provide students opportunities to grow and develop. And one of those individuals that makes up Minnesota FFA staff is Ashley Croson. So Ashley, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Val.
All right, you have the big title of Leadership Development Coordinator. What does that actually mean?
So Leadership Development Coordinator, I work a lot with our state officers. I do a lot of their chapter visit scheduling, all of their regional events that they go to. I work with the region advisors, chapter advisors, and then the state officers to get them to those events. Help with all of the camps that we do during the summer. We have our Green Hand Leadership Conference and our Chapter Leaders Conference that take place up in northern Minnesota. So a lot of work with the state officers throughout the year and any of the leadership programming that we do.
Well, FFA is famous for developing young people and the skills. What do you think that makes FFA so unique that positions young people to be leaders in their community and for themselves?
I think there's just so many skills that members learn through FFA. I know they always talk about, students always say, oh, if I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for FFA. But truly, a lot of those skills that they learn through FFA and even at either agriculture education classes, they use in job interviews, their jobs in the future, just talking to people on an everyday basis. But we really try to prepare those leaders for their futures.
Well, you have the privilege of going to the Green Hand Camp, and for those who know FFA, you know that's one of the very first FFA experiences. I'm assuming, probably because I was that person, that every year you see some pretty timid, shy individuals, and when they leave, they're not so shy or timid. Can you walk us through what that looks like and how you, as a staff person, prepare them to be ready to embrace new activities?
Absolutely, yeah. We see those kids every year that they're not so sure, oh, my advisor signed me up to go to camp. I didn't really want to be here. But it's kind of funny. We meet every night to go over the next day of curriculum and what we're going to do for the next day. And the state officers are always like, wow, this kid was really quiet the first day. Now they're chatting in their rooms and they're talking to everybody and they're really coming out of their shell. So it's really cool to see that happen throughout the week. And it happens at conferences, it happens at conventions, at really anything throughout the year.
Well, tonight we're going to have the opportunity to meet the state officers, and of course they kind of become the public face of FFA for a year. They didn't start out like they are now, right? They were kind of on that growth journey. What does that look like as far as your work with them, training them up and giving those opportunities to be the best representatives of FFA in Minnesota?
Yeah. Every year the state officers do a training. The National FFA organization offers state officer training throughout the year. So they start their first training in May, shortly after elected, learn how to be a state officer and what does it mean to be a state officer and really what does it mean to be a team. And then they do 2 other trainings throughout the year. So they learn about workshop development, presenting workshops, and then later in the year learn about giving speeches, writing a speech before they prepare for state convention with their retiring address. But it's amazing to see the growth that the state officers have throughout their year.
Well, I think as a former high school agriculture teacher yourself, you're married to a high school agriculture teacher. I think of the jacket and how we often talk about it has their name, the student's name here, it has the town as well as the state. You know, what do we say to kids when they put on that jacket? They're not just representing themselves. Who are they representing?
Absolutely. They're representing the entire state of Minnesota for our members. And our state officers, their jackets say association. So it's always a reminder that whenever they're out in public, they're representing all of the FFA members, the over 16,000 FFA members that we have in Minnesota. They're representing each one of those students in the public.
Well, as you kind of think about if a student came up to you or their parent came to you and said, gosh, we're toying with joining FFA, give us that little speech. What would be that 30 seconds you'd say, yes, you need to be involved in the FFA, because what does it make a difference for them?
FFA is for everybody. We have programs, suburban, urban, we have rural programs in the towns. You don't have to live on a farm to be in FFA. And it really develops leaders, like we talked about. Those skills that students learn, they learn about agriculture too. They learn about where their food comes from and really what happens at the state fair and in agriculture in general, and really learn about, and they can share that message too with other people.
Well, I've had the privilege to ask a few questions, but Jasmine, I know you have a lot to say about the value of FFA, so I'm going to give you the mic and let you share a little bit about, with Ashley, kind of your perspective on the FFA.
Well, Ashley, as you mentioned, the training that the students get is amazing. I mean, and they are so polished and confident. I love the story of you talking about the kids at the first camp and how they come out of their shell. What do you think the secret sauce that FFA offers is to helping these students build and lean into their confidence and agency?
I think one of the things FFA offers is the continuous growth. I mean, these members are starting in 7th grade, and they do agriculture classes all the way through high school. They can continue in FFA after high school, so I think it's just the continuous growth, and they get so many years to have those opportunities in FFA.
And so FFA is not only about like leadership development and agricultural and training, there's some fun that happens. Tell us a little bit about the fun the students have and the state officers get to have.
Yeah, I think one of the state officers' favorite experiences throughout the year is National Convention. There's thousands of FFA members that come to Indianapolis, and they love to connect with the members and the other state officers from across the country. And it's an award ceremony. The state officers have some work to do there, but at some points during the sessions, before the sessions, it's kind of a big party. They get to dance and they get to have a lot of fun with each other, and share those connections that they've made at National Convention through the rest of their year and even past being an FFA member.
Yeah, I love being here at the fairgrounds and seeing state officers from the current years, previous years reunite, and just how excited they are. So Val touched on the representation that the Blue Jackets mean. But what does the Blue Jacket really mean? You know, there's a lot of popularity in the thrifting world about the Blue Jackets, and there's talk about, oh, if you weren't an FFA, you should never down a Blue Jacket. But what does the Blue Jacket really mean besides that representation?
I think the Blue Jacket symbolizes a lot of pride in agriculture and FFA. It's so identifiable. I mean, we walk around State Fair and people know the FFA jacket. We go to the Capitol and it's one of people's favorite days at the Capitol is when the FFA members come. But I think it's so identifiable and it's so filled with pride with agriculture education, agriculture, and FFA.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you want to share about the work that you do that we didn't get to ask you?
I guess my job, it's a lot of fun. As I talked about, I get to see the state officers grow throughout the year, and it's really cool. I mean, they start off as fantastic individuals, but they continue that growth throughout the year, and it's amazing to see them prepare for state convention at the end of the year, and then them go on and celebrate our members and all of their achievements throughout the year.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to remind people that if you are watching or sitting here live at the State Fair, you can give by texting GREAT, MN Gives, to 50155. And Val, what's next?
Wow, we're going to make our way to Region 2, which is also in the northern part of the state. And as we continue to hear from FFA members, teachers, and other supporters, I hope you take to heart that these are young people that have grown through the program. You don't start out being able to talk in front of a crowd. You develop skills because a caring individual, a teacher, puts you in that position, something that I think will serve them and the community well.
Yeah, I love that, Val. One of the things that I talk about often in my work is this idea of a concept called strength spotting. And that's really what these teachers are doing. They're saying, I see a strength, I see a character in you, and I want you to join FFA because I think that can help you grow and develop. So here's to the amazing students and the teachers that spot those strengths.
Well, it's time to make our way to Region 2 to hear from some of our students, teachers, and others in that part of the state.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Professional, present yourself as a professional, and move forward in life as a professional. And he liked to see students in professional FFA attire, which included the Blue Jackets. I actually judged the state convention under Mr. Day's tutelage for over 15 years. And one of the things that I found as a judge is the students were very articulate. Students were also very curious. They were really interested to see how they did and get as much feedback as possible. And they looked at what they were going to do for the upcoming year. So as we, as business people, are taking a look at, the next generation that we want to bring in, typically it is the kids that are well-spoken, the kids that are well-resourced, they know a lot about the environment around them, and they're hard workers. They really, really focus on getting to where they want to be, setting their goals, and establishing kind of the process in order to do that. As you're looking at what your next career is, you kind of look at the overall 60,000-foot view and realize that so much is changing, and it's changing at kind of a record pace right now, especially as you look at the world of AI and what that's going to mean to a lot of folks in their careers moving forward. Figure out a way to implement that in what you're doing. Find a trade. We're all going to need tradespeople to do phenomenal work for us, which isn't something that can be replaced by AI. You also have to chart your own course and determine who you want to be. Surround yourself with people that allow you to get there. And I think that's the other nice thing about FFA is a lot of these folks have been friends since they were in 9th, 10th, 11th grade, and they've kind of gone through the process, and they've become really good friends. They support one another, and in turn, they turn back around and support the organization.
In the beginning of August, Region 2 hosted a Region Leadership Conference. At this conference, I went around and I asked students and advisors for stories on how FFA has impacted them and their lives. Here are a few of them.
Hi, I'm Morgan Pickett, and I am a first-year ag teacher at Grand Rapids High School. FFA really taught me how to be a person, a leader, and an educator, and it led me to where I am today. I entered my first ag class in 7th grade in middle school, and that class taught me how to be prepared, how to public speak, and all great skills that I use today. And then throughout my high school career, I was inspired by my ag teachers and my CDEs to take on education as a career.
I'm Anna Helmberg from the Wadena Deer Creek FFA chapter, and my story is my FFA advisor, Mr. Mathowitz, helped me after Creed speaking because I was so stressed about not doing good, and I was crying because I was so worried, but he helped me and he worked me through it, and he got me to go as far as I could, and I actually ended up going to state because he was helping me progress so well.
Hi, I'm Emma Butterfuss from the Little Falls FFA chapter, and FFA has helped me to become a better leader and to communicate with others in the community.
Hi, I'm Mr. Linder. I teach at Grand Rapids High School. I'm in my 25th year of teaching. What FFA meant to me as a student growing up in Battle Lake, Minnesota, it meant the world to me outside. I was pretty good at baseball, and that was kind of what I cared about, but outside of baseball I didn't have much of an identity. I got a freshman wildlife management class in my spring year of my freshman year, and from there I met Mr. Blaine Larson, my first ag teacher coming to Battle Lake, and he put me in opportunities to really grow myself academically and give me some other things to develop my other passions outside of sports. It just gave me an opportunity to find another network of friends outside of athletics, and really kind of pointed me in the right direction academically as a struggling student in that fall semester of my freshman year. So it has a lot to do with where I'm at today with my experience at FFA, particularly my freshman year, and just kind of grew from that point, and eventually led to being an ag teacher myself.
Hi, my name is Zoe Giese. I'm the historian from the Swanville FFA chapter. One way that FFA impacted me is that I got better speaking in front of people. I learned how to be a better leader, and when I got to go to state, I got to meet lots of new people.
Hi, my name is Magnus Nelson, and I am the FFA advisor at the Brainerd FFA chapter in the Great Region 2. I was asked to share a story about how FFA has impacted my life. I was in FFA from the Brainerd FFA chapter back when I was in high school, and have a lot of great memories of it, from doing state conventions, contests, national FFA convention, and it's impacted my life and who I am and what I'm doing now as an ag teacher. And being an ag teacher, I get to see that, an FFA advisor, I get to see that in the students I advise, the students I teach, and share those experiences and my passion for FFA.
My name is Sapphire Bowman. I'm part of the Vernal FFA chapter. And FFA has helped me has really impacted me and helped me grow as a leader. At state last year, I started the wave.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Hannah Milligan, and I am the 2026-2027 Region 2 advisor. I started my FFA journey back in Parkers Prairie, Minnesota, which is part of Region 3, and now I'm in Region 2. And there I was in FFA because it was my legacy. It was who I was probably destined to be from the very beginning. My dad was in FFA and all my family. Then I decided to continue making FFA part of my life when I continued ag education in Crookston at the University of Minnesota there. And now I'm an advisor in Ferndale, Minnesota, where I'm starting my 7th year teaching there. And now it's my job to tell kids that FFA doesn't necessarily have to be, part of your family's legacy. It's not necessarily if you're just from a farm and that's who you're destined to be. It's also if you want to take the step moving forward to be a leader and just really make an impact on other people's lives while also advocating for agriculture. So FFA is an organization that I think can leave a huge impact and totally change the trajectory of a student's life while they're a part of it.
So I'm going to hold, oh, here we go. I said, wow, wasn't that exciting? Learning a little bit more about Region 2. We mentioned that this is the 7th year that we have hosted the Great Minnesota Give Together. This is our 6th year at the Minnesota State Fair. And because it's Lucky 7, we decided to change it up a little. And so this year, we are actually going to have some in-person performances. And first up, we have Daniel Dake from Royalton High School. He's a member of the Royalton FFA, which is right above St. Cloud. If you're like, where is Royalton? Royalton is just north of St. Cloud, so central Minnesota. For those of you who are like, where are we going on this journey around Minnesota? And he is going to be playing the guitar, on how you choose to pronounce it. I like to say guitar. And he's going to be singing In Color by Jamie Johnson. Take it away, Daniel. Okay, we're waiting on a little sound check. This is what happens when we are live at the Minnesota State Fair. So I'm going to stretch it a little. Daniel, tell me one of your favorite things about being a member of FFA.
To be honest, getting out of school.
Oh, getting out of school. And getting out of school and going where?
Region banquets, contests, especially state.
Did you come to state this year? Yeah. I was at state this year, and I think this is the longest amount of time I've ever spent at a state competition, and it was just extra, extra special. I felt all the energy. I wish I could go in the way, way back machine and be transported to high school so that I could be a FFA member out there with y'all. What's one of your favorite memories from this year's state convention?
From this year's state convention, probably doing the same thing I'm doing right now as the talent competition.
The talent competition, that was epic, wasn't it? Yeah. What did you sing or perform at that talent competition?
In Color by Jamie Johnson.
Oh, so this is your song. So we know that you do this pretty well. You try?
Yeah, I try.
What's your second favorite song?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
All right, I should be ready.
I'm a big fan of Zach Top.
A big fan of Zach Top. All right, well, I think I've got to hand over my mic, so take it away, Zach. Or Daniel.
Yeah. I said, Grandpa, what's this picture here? It's all black and white. Ain't real clear. Is that you there? He said, yeah, I was 11. Times were tough back in 35. That's me and Uncle Joe just trying to survive a cotton farm. A Great Depression. If it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, should have seen it in color. On this one here's taken overseas in the middle of hell in 1943, wintertime. Could almost see my breath. That was my tail gunner, old Johnny McGee. He was a high school teacher from New Orleans, and he had my back right through the day we left. If it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, should have seen it in color. Picture's worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what those shades of gray keep covered. Should have seen it in color. This one is my favorite one. This is me and Grandma in the summer sun, all dressed up. Day we said our vows. Can't tell it here, but it was hot that June, and that rose was red and her eyes were blue, and just look at that smile. I was so proud. That's the story of my life. Right there in black and white. If it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, should have seen it in color. Picture's worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what those shades of gray keep covered. Should have seen it in color. Picture's worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what those shades of gray keep covered. Should have seen it in color. Thank you.
you.
Yeah, of course.
Wow, let's hear it for our wonderful talent act. All right. Wow, we weren't kidding when we say these FFA members have talent, and of course now you're seeing it in an artistic way. This is another young man that we want you to meet. Thomas, can you tell us who you are and where you're from?
Hi, my name is Thomas Schatz. I'm from the Tri-City United FFA chapter, and I'm a volunteer here at the CHS Miracle of Birth Center, where we can work here with vets and other Barneys to help take care of these young animals.
Well, I'm assuming when you're holding one of these cute little critters, you are a very popular person here in the CHS Miracle of Birth Center. Am I correct?
You are very correct. This here is Mary and her twin brother Joseph. Were born 4 days ago here, and they just love all of the attention they're getting, and they're getting so much just tender love and care from all of the community.
Let's turn him so that the whole audience here, we got a nice crowd here in front of the FFA Chapter House and Leadership Center. So Mary is the name of this little one. Oh, that was almost on cue. How about it? Okay, no, he's gonna be shy. She's gonna be shy now. Okay, when you're not here at the CHS Miracle Birth Center volunteering as an FFA member, what are you doing in the FFA?
So I volunteer in many different ways. So we can help our we help our school in many ways, such as I volunteer for pancake breakfast. We go out in the community, and we just really like to volunteer. So we clean ditches. We help set up tractor pulls for local events. We actually host a bohemian tractor pull for our community, and this is where instead of people pulling a sled with their tractor, they pull the tractor themselves.
I have not heard of that before, but that does sound entertaining. And does it take a lot of strength to do that?
Yeah, some of the guys you should see pulling there should be on the old line.
Okay. All right. Well, we're here again at the State Fair, and so there's a lot of neat things. Why is it so important to connect people with the animals that make up agriculture?
I believe there's a strong disconnection in agriculture in certain ways, and I think that the CHS Miracle Birth Center can really help people to understand all that ag does and all the good it does. And without ag, we wouldn't really have anything, would we?
Well, I certainly know that I appreciate agriculture, whether that's some tasty treats or just the companionship that a lot of us have with the animals. So you've been here for a few days, or you're just starting your shift?
I got here Wednesday. I showed for 4-H my lamb Mustard, who is a yearling weather dam. I got 4th overall, and Mustard actually weighs 205 pounds, which is a little heavy for her weight. Don't tell her I said that.
All right, but I'm assuming the judging went well and you had a great experience.
I did. I love showing for 4-H, and I just love everyone that I can show with.
All right, so as you look out over this fair crowd, it's a very big crowd today. Do you have a favorite treat? We can't not talk about where we are here with the State Fair.
I love to go to Sweet Martha's, then I run right down to the milk stand and buy all the milk I can drink. The most I've had there was 14 glasses right away in one sitting.
Okay, I think that honestly is the most that I've ever heard consume 14 glasses. Anybody in the audience that can beat 14 glasses of ice cold milk? Nope, you get the title. Okay, well, as I think about oh, come on, little one. You can do this. Nope, not happening. All right, well, as we think about the FFA, it plays a valuable role not only in your life, but in the lives of others. If you were to talk to a young person thinking about joining, what would you tell them?
Get involved. Getting involved it's just taught me so much as a leader and as a person. I've met so many great friends and other people in the community, and it's really just made me enjoy all of the things that I do for FFA and volunteering.
All right, now, again, we've got this little sweetheart of a lamb here. We want you to come and visit this little sweetheart. She's in the CHS Miracle Birth Center. Again, you get a chance to get up close. You've got young people like Thomas here that are willing to talk to you about these animals and why it's so important that we give them great care and attention. Thomas, we appreciate you being with us today, and I know we're going to see you around some more as you do more things in the FFA.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you. As we welcome our next guest, I want to give a good shout out to our sponsors. This is, after all, a telethon, and we want to make sure that those who have invested in the FFA are recognized properly. So a good shout out to our friends at Ag Country, to Ag Partners, Land O'Lakes, CoBank, the Dakota Elks, which we're going to hear from them in a little bit, as well as the Minnesota State Southern Agricultural Center of Excellence. Well, as my next guest arrives up here, I want to just remind people that this is an opportunity to raise some dollars for FFA. We want to give a shout out to our matching sponsor today, which is Roy and Judy Nelson. And they are matching the first $1,000 that is given to the telethon. Anna, tell us about yourself. Where are you at? Where did you grow up? And what does your FFA involvement look like so far?
Well, this year I get the honor of being able to serve as the state secretary. So that entails a lot of fun over the summer, doing some of those summer conferences and camps that Ms. Croson came up here and talked about earlier. But then also throughout the next year, I get to go and do some chapter visits and really get to meet members and some of those 16,000 members across the state. I'm personally from Glencoe, Minnesota, so about an hour west of the Twin Cities. Glencoe! But yeah, it's really fun, small town, great rural involvement. Yeah, I'm just really happy and excited to see what the next year looks like. And my FFA experience up to this point has been so positive. I really joined because of the welcoming atmosphere, and that's truly what kept me in, along with all of the leadership development opportunities that we as FFA members get.
Well, so did it take much convincing to get you in the FFA? I know your agriculture teacher. I know that they're very influential. What did it take to get you in?
Yes, actually, it took a lot of convincing. I was dead set on the FFA is not for me. I wanted to go and be a doctor, actually, but it just took one Christmas party for me, and I was hooked. I think it was just, yeah, just all the experiences, and it slowly changed career paths for me, and now I want to go and help the agricultural sector and go into that thoroughly. And so although it took a little convincing, it definitely was the best choice I've ever made in my life, and I'm very happy that my FFA advisor was so persistent and all the FFA members were so welcoming to help keep me in the organization.
Let's lean into that FFA advisor for a little bit. They play an important role in the lives of young people. Can you talk about what that really means? How do they encourage you? How do they put you into situations that are going to help you be successful?
Yeah, FFA advisors do not get enough credit. They really are the backbone of this organization. Although it is student-led, FFA advisors do a great job in making sure that those students take advantage of opportunities that they're given, whether it's pushing them into it, whether they want to or not, or someone comes up to them and they find a place for them in the organization. Their role is truly so special, and like Jasmine said earlier, they find those strengths, they key in on them, and they help kids and members develop them to get to a point where today they can stand on the stage, or maybe after they're done with college, they're well prepared for a career.
Well, we're here at the Minnesota State Fair, and there are definitely FFA members and activities happening. However, the large portion of FFA members are coming this weekend during FFA encampment. Can you share a little bit about your role and what you'll be doing to support those members? Over 1,000 students are going to come and exhibit. What are some of the things that you're going to help out with?
Yeah, so some things that we get to do is we get to welcome everyone and check them in and make sure they're where they need to be. And then we also get to help put on shows. So that's where animals get to go and where members get to go exhibit their animals, and we get to help put those on. And then we have an FFA dance, we have an award ceremony, and it really is like the Great Minnesota Get Together. I would argue that it's a great FFA Get Together as well.
Well, I would say that for those of us who are here in person, if you haven't, please check out some of the FFA exhibits. Right around the corner, we've got some beautiful landscape booths. If you want to get inspired, there's a chance to go and see how you can really work with landscaping and help to tell a story in your own yard and such. There's floriculture exhibits that are up in the horticulture building, as well as some agricultural mechanics. So those are just a few things, but of course we mentioned the livestock is coming. Do you have a favorite area of livestock to work with?
Although I never showed livestock, I personally love watching the dairy shows. I think it's really interesting, and it's just awesome to watch these members thrive and get to show off what they love doing.
Well, we're going to have a great time when they get here. So, of course, if you've been here today, you'll want to come back this weekend and be part of the FFA shows. If you're here, though, today, please, by all means, go visit the CHS Miracle Birth Center as well as the FFA Chapter House. Well, as we think about this telethon, we are asking people to give financially to support the important work. What are some ways that you felt supported in your FFA journey?
For me personally, I was able to do a lot of experiences above my chapter level based on scholarships that I received either from the state or my chapter's alumni association, and that was like really crucial in my development as an FFA member. It just gives you experiences to meet people besides where you're from, and it helps you get a new perspective. And also, I was able to receive an SAE, Supervised Agricultural Experience grant, and that really helped flourish and give me an opportunity as someone who grew up in town to have the monetary funds needed to support an SAE.
I think that really brings up a great point. You know, there's support of time and effort, important, but ultimately there are dollars that need to make sure that students can participate, whether that's to help offset some of the conference registrations, the travel, those types of things. I know we talked earlier about the Blue Jacket Bright Futures program. Amanda was up here. What does this jacket mean to you, Anna? It has opened up opportunities, I'm assuming.
Yeah, this jacket means everything to me. It's been touched on a lot today, but it truly just represents something bigger than yourself. And I think that's so special when you have a sense of belonging. And like Val, you said, it opens so many doors. I would not be the person I am today. I would not be able to stand up here on the stage. I would not be able to go up to people and start conversations. And this jacket really just gives me a sense of pride, and it really makes me feel like I have a belonging.
Well, we have had a lot of things happening already. The FFA's Got Talent show is underway. We've had our first contestant. What a solid performance we had from Daniel. We've got so many great things yet to come. And of course, we're gonna now take a look and visit Region 3, a part of our state that is offering great programming to FFA. Jasmine's made her way back up here. Jasmine.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We're headed over to Region 3. Great job, and thanks so much for sharing about your experience. We just love Glencoe. Talk about a cute town. It's wonderful. It's a little piece of heaven here in Minnesota. Don't you feel lucky to be from there and living there?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's been a blast.
Okay, Val, so where is Region 3? Where are we headed?
Well, we are going to hear from students across that part of the state. As we know, Glencoe's Silver Lake, so tend to think of that area. But again, we also, after this next video clip, we're going to have yet another talent contestant. So, Anna, thanks for being with us today. And Jasmine, should we send it over to Region 3?
Let's send it over to Region 3, but we want to remind people, if you want to give today, please text GREAT MN Gives to 50155, and let's head to Region 3.
Sounds great.
Hi Minnesota FFA, my name is Rebecca Post from the Rocori FFA chapter, currently serving as the Region 3 president. Region 3 is home to 21 chapters located in central Minnesota. Today, you will have the opportunity to hear from FFA members and supporters about their agriculture and FFA stories. We would like to personally thank you for your support and for tuning in to see how FFA is impacting our members.
Hi, my name is Katie Gregory from the Stockton FFA chapter, and I'm serving here as the Region 3 Vice President. An event we host here at Region 3 is called R3LC, where we bring in all of the chapter officers so they can learn about leadership and other positive impacts that they can bring back to their home chapters.
Hi, my name is Riley Kramer, and I'm from the Osakis FFA chapter, and I'm currently serving as the Region 3 Secretary. Being an FFA member has allowed me to branch out and meet new members.
My name is Ella Lar from the Rocori FFA chapter. I'm currently serving as the Region 3 Treasurer. In my opinion, one of the best events of the year is Fall Rally. Fall Rally is an event where we introduce young members to FFA. We teach them about contests, about official dress, and about basic FFA events.
Hi, I'm McKenna Hack from the Morris Area FFA chapter, serving as your Region 3 reporter. One of my favorite things about the region is our involvement in our CDEs and LDs. Every chapter in our region is very committed to their contest, and it is very great to see.
Hi, my name is Emmett Charles from the Hancock FFA chapter, and I'm currently serving as one of this year's Region 3 directors. And one thing that I'm very excited for this year is to connect with members from all across the region and state and learn about why they're in FFA.
Hi, my name is Allison Radke from the Rocori FFA chapter, currently serving as one of the Region 3 directors. One of my favorite region events is our Region Banquet. This banquet helps highlight our members' successes throughout the year and show off their accomplishments.
This FFA Tech Conference down at the college was a tremendous opportunity for students who were exploring career paths in technology and trades.
We're proud to help support the first Technology Empowered Careers Conference. This is a one-of-a-kind designed specifically for students who want to sharpen their technical skills.
If you're an FFA and you like tractors, big toys, hanging out with your buddies, I mean, it's a blast. Like, what else is more fun than that? Than go sit in an ER with a 16-year-old planner on the back. Like, nothing beats that. It's awesome.
This event was about exposing students to real-world careers that they were truly passionate about.
If you're looking for a career pathway, this is a great way to learn about them and to get some new people to talk to and even get maybe some new information. This is where you'd want to go.
I think it's the ability to learn, the passion for learning, as well as their willingness to communicate. You know, the world today is so trapped in the mobile devices that these students are able to engage with people. And in our industry, engaging with people is what we do every day. So I get to support early talent programs for RDO. And Mr. Offit was a farmer from Moorhead, Minnesota, who grew himself into an equipment dealer and a farmer. And today, we need great talent in our teams. And the FFA is exactly where we come to find it. We gotta eat. This is the future of us eating. There is only one way to have food, and that's through agriculture. And so the young people today that are excited about it need to be supported. They need the chance to go into a classroom and learn all the different things about how we survive and how we create food, or how do we engage with our natural resources as a whole. And that's exactly what FFA does. For us as a business, we give to a number of different states, Minnesota being near and dear to our heart, having started here as an organization. But I'll tell you, it's everything from showing up as a star partner, to buying a booth at the career fair, to sending judges to a specific CD. I mean, whatever it may be, there is a lot of potential for us as industry to make sure these young people have a chance to engage and network. It's more than your dollars when you give to the FFA. You have to give your time too. The dollars help make the events happen, but show up. Every single donor should be showing up and supporting the student, shaking hands, meeting them in person, and saying, hey, we're excited about what you can bring for our future. Yes, the dollars help, and that's what makes the events happen, but if you show up, that's when you get the reward. That's the smiles on your face when you see these young people in your community in 5, 10, 15, 20 years being successful at whatever they do. You'll realize you made that happen, and that's why giving to the FFA is so important.
Hi, my name is Loretta Belknap, and I'm a part of the Rocori FFA chapter. One of my favorite and most impactful experiences that I've had as an FFA member and officer was at a local petting zoo. I had 2 dairy calves about 2 weeks old in my pen, and I had a woman walk up to me and ask me what they were. And I said, oh, well, do you mean what breed, if they're beef or dairy? And she said, no, what are they? And in that moment, I could have chosen to be dismissive or rude or kind of laugh her off, because even though that seems kind of like a silly question to me, it wasn't to her. So instead, I chose to educate her, and I told her that they were dairy calves, and I explained a little bit about the process and how they impacted the agricultural community. And in that moment, instead of being dismissive and laughing her off, I chose to educate her. So that woman walked away with a little bit more knowledge about agriculture than she had before, that she could potentially spread to friends, or I think she had some little kids too. So I think that's really important, and one of my favorite things about FFA is reaching out to the public.
Hi, I'm Kaya Megatel, and I'm from the Holding Forward chapter, and FFA impacted me by giving me a strong community to rely on.
Hi, my name's Ileana LeClaire, and I'm from the Sauk Center FFA chapter. I think my favorite memory in FFA was probably going to SLCCL and meeting many friends and getting lost in the woods.
Hello, my name is Luke Wanashide, and I'm from the Sauk Center FFA chapter. My favorite memory in FFA was in 7th grade when I went to Fall Rally. I met a lot of different people and got to learn a lot about FFA.
Hi, my name is Olivia Kristen from the Sauk Center FFA chapter. My favorite part of FFA is getting to go to all of the different events and meeting new people.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Powell from the Sauk Center FFA chapter. My favorite memory was probably all the leadership events that we could do and meeting new people.
Hello, my name's Brooke Loso, and I'm from the Rocori FFA chapter, and FFA has helped me grow through public speaking.
My name is Leah Peters, and I'm from the Sauk Center FFA chapter, and my favorite FFA memory is attending SLCCL last year.
My name's Izzy Lar. I'm from the Rocori FFA chapter, and my favorite memory is the Region Bar Dance.
Hi, my name is Maddie Meyer from the Sauk Center FFA chapter. My favorite memory is the drive down to state convention.
My name is Michaela Kiffmeyer from the Rocori FFA chapter, and my favorite FFA activity was competing at nationals because it taught me hard work.
My name is Hannah Hansen from the Rocori FFA chapter, and my favorite FFA memory is going to FBM practices because I get to hang out with all my friends.
My name is Avery Brown from the Painesville FFA chapter, and my favorite FFA activity is going to SLCCL camp because it taught me how to step outside of my comfort zone.
Hi, my name is Grady Frank from the Painesville FFA chapter. My favorite memory is state convention because I made so many new friends there.
Hi, I'm Tucker Kramer from the Osakis FFA chapter, and my favorite FFA memory is speaking at Creed in 7th grade because it taught me public speaking and to be more confident in myself.
We thank you for tuning in to see the impact FFA is making on members of Region 3. We ask that you consider donating to Minnesota FFA and Region 3 during the Great Minnesota Give Together. Thank you all again.
Wow, wasn't it great learning about the impact and the students in FFA Region 3? Again, if you want to support the telethon, and specifically Region 3, we want to encourage you to give by texting Great Minnesota Gives to 50155. That's Great MN Gives to 50155. So we mentioned the talent component of this year's Great Minnesota Give Together is a new component. And I'm super excited to introduce our next contestant. Her name is Kylie Miner from Isle High School. She is about to be entering her second year in FFA. She's in the 8th grade, and she is going to sing Voila by Barbara Parvey, a tune that she performed at the state convention. So you just wrapped up 1 year of participation in FFA. Any special memories you want to share with us?
I'd say probably my favorite memory was going down to state because we just had a lot of fun with friends, and I really liked seeing all the competitions that people could be in.
Well, we're so excited to hear you sing. You look beautiful. Thank you so much for supporting the FFA Minnesota Great Give Together with your talents.
Thank you.
Écoute-moi, moi la chanteuse à demi, parlez de moi, à vos amours, à vos amis. Parlez-leur de cette fille aux yeux noirs et de son rêve fou. Moi, ce que veux, c'est d'écrire des histoires qui arrivent jusqu'à vous. C'est tout. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Me voilà même aussi. Mis à nous, j'ai peur, oui. Me voilà dans le bruit et dans le silence. Regardez-moi. Ouais, de moi, c'est qu'il en reste. Regardez-moi avant que je me déteste. Pour vous dire qu'il a l'air donné tout, ton amour et on part. C'est peu de choses, mais moi, tout ce que j'ai, je l'ai déposé là. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Mais voilà, même aussi, mais un nous c'est fini. C'est ma gueule, c'est mon cri, mais voilà ton pays. Ne partez pas, je vais souffrir, rester longtemps. Ça ne sera peut-être pas, non. Mes faits sont vos, j'ai pas comment. Aimez-moi comme on aime mon ami, qui s'en va pour toujours. Je vais quand même, parce que moi je sais pas, mais ne même y contour. Voilà, 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 juste ici, mon modèle, mon envie, comme son crève, comme son rit, mais voilà dans le bruit, et dans la fidèle aussi. Regardez-moi pas, et mes os et mes mains, tout ce que j'ai, et je sais, c'est ma gueule, c'est mon cri, voilà, mais voilà, mais voilà, 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 voilà.
Wow, was that not amazing? Can we give Kylie another round of applause? I feel like I need to learn some French now so I can sing. Voila, voila, voila. Aiden, hi.
Hi.
So good to see you. Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Aiden Brutger, and this year I have the opportunity to serve as the Minnesota FFA State Sentinel.
Okay, and so for those not that familiar with FFA, what does the Sentinel do? I was going to make a joke, a little comparison. I like to say at church, I volunteer to be an usher, so I say I'm a Christian doorkeeper. That's kind of like a Sentinel, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the Sentinel is stationed by the door. So my job, on top of serving alongside my other state officers to serve the 16,000 FFA members, is to make sure they're all feeling welcome. I bring the energy up. I'm usually the first person they see when they walk into a fun event, so it's really my job to get the energy up and make sure everyone feels welcome and included.
So you set the tone because they see you first and they see your committee's work, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And so I understand that you are going to be a freshman in Duluth at the College of St. Scholastica when in a couple days, couple weeks?
Yeah, I actually move in on Friday morning.
Oh, wow. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really excited. I'm excited for this new change. I love all the opportunities, and that's one of the things that I really like about FFA too. So I'm glad I get to see that in my life as well.
Yeah. So do you know what you're going to major in? Do you have any thoughts about your future?
Yes. So I will be a nursing major, and my goal with that is to come back to a rural ER. So that's what I want to do.
Oh, wow. And where are you originally from?
I'm from Region 5 in the Eden Valley area of Minnesota, really central Minnesota.
Okay, and so you may go back home after.
I might end up there. We'll see what happens.
So I know that you also had the opportunity to participate in something called WLC, or Washington Leadership Conference. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the Washington Leadership Conference is open to all FFA members across the nation. So a little over 2,000 FFA members get to attend the Washington Leadership Conference every year. And what we focus on while we're there for about a week, it's about 5 days, is all about service. We develop our Living to Serve, or our LTS plans, which is all about how we can better serve our own communities.
So like servant leadership.
Yes, absolutely.
So what did you take away from that experience? I understand that you are going to go and be a nurse in the rural community. That's one way that you can be of service. What are other ways that you've implemented your learnings?
Yeah, so one of the things that I wanted to do as a part of my Living to Serve plan is all about like food security, and I wanted to, I saw the need in our community for families that maybe are struggling to find food. So part of our FFA chapter, we talked about doing a food drive, and we kind of got to see that in our FFA chapter, as well as our communities. Our student council at our high school also decided to do that. So that's another way that I took away from the Washington Leadership Conference, and my Living to Serve plan.
Oh, wow. Final question for you. What does the blue jacket mean to you?
Yeah, so I've been in this blue jacket. This will be my 7th year in this blue jacket. So I don't even know if words could describe it, but I'll do my best here. And I think the blue jacket to me is all about the opportunity. So there's a lot of opportunities within FFA, one of them being the Washington Leadership Conference, but opportunities to further yourself as a leader, opportunities to learn more about agriculture. I personally never showed an animal. I didn't really grow up on a farm. So I joined FFA for more of the leadership side, but through that got to learn more about agriculture and agricultural education. And I think that all of the opportunities is really what this blue jacket means to me.
Yeah, and I think you really are speaking to the diversity of FFA. Like, you are in a rural community, but not on the farm. I'm going to toss it over. We're going to have Mary Hoffman come on up, and if you don't mind sharing your mic with Mary. I made the comment to Mary. Mary, why don't you introduce yourself right quick?
I'm Mary Hoffman, the Minnesota FFA Executive Director.
Okay, Mary, so I was like, yeah, Mary, how's it going? It's the end of year 2. And she's like, no, Jasmine, it's just year 1.
Year 1.
So how have those 365 days gone for you?
Yeah, I started August 18th last year, right before the Minnesota State Fair. It's been great. We have a great staff with Minnesota FFA. We have a leadership development coordinator, Ashley, which you met earlier. And Natasha Mortensen is the Career and Alumni Program Coordinator, and you'll meet her later. So we just have a really great staff, and we work good together, and we provide all kinds of activities for Minnesota FFA.
For the 16,000 members of Minnesota FFA. So I was saying when we were talking backstage, I said, you're not new to it, you're true to it. You were a member of FFA, you were also an ag educator for how many years?
30.
30, because you started at 15, right?
Yeah.
And so you have seen the gamut of FFA. What would you say your vision for FFA in the state of Minnesota is, as you have gotten 1 year under wraps?
Yeah, I would say my vision is that FFA is for everyone, and to make everyone feel like they're invited every single time to FFA events. When I was an FFA myself, there were very few girls. Obviously, that has changed a lot. When I became an ag teacher in the 90s.
When you were 15?
Yeah, when I was 21 years old, and I had a student in my class turn 19. So that was a little crazy. But there weren't a lot of female ag teachers, and I'd say look at them now. There's a lot of female ag teachers. So the industry itself has come a long way, and membership has totally changed as well. There were so many more boys, but now the girls have caught up.
Right, yeah. And then, like you said, not only are we in rural communities, we're in suburban communities and also urban communities. So just the landscape of students that we are impacting has really changed to reach that number of 16,000 students. So looking back on this year, do you have a favorite memory? Maybe something at state convention or maybe something else while y'all were on the road? Favorite memory?
Well, I was an ag teacher in Sleepy Eye, Minnesota for 19 years, and I was in Wisconsin before that for 11. And I guess for me, like, the most rewarding thing is seeing some of my students become teachers. So we talk about programs in the urban. One of my students, Harley Brown, is the ag teacher at St. Paul Highland Park. So that's super cool. But the 3 teachers that were my students were all like in the top 10 for a national chapter. And so that was really cool to leave my legacy going.
Kudos to you, Mary. Yeah, there we go. It really is talking about your legacy. Aiden talked about that living legacy that they created at WLC. So to see your legacy impact in action is amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. Probably just one of the most rewarding things to see those that I have taught now succeed as ag teachers. And my role, like, I was an ag teacher for 30 years, an FFA advisor for 30 years. But now I go to the other side of it and really get to help teachers and come up with new programs and support programs and come up with funding opportunities through grants and different things where I can support the students and the chapters to grow.
So it's a holistic approach to supporting FFA in your role. Okay, we're going to bring up a person you probably know really well, Rebecca Bosch. And Rebecca is the Region 3 president. Hi, Rebecca. Congratulations on serving as president for Region 3. Now, you are a senior, right? Where are you in school at?
I go to school at Rocori High School.
And where is that located?
Kind of near St. Cloud, Minnesota, so right in
Okay.
the central Minnesota area.
Kind of close to where Daniel is from. Yeah. All right. So you have been involved in the FFA for how many years?
I started in 7th grade, so this will be about my 7th year in FFA. I
Seventh
believe.
year. All right. So
fifth.
that's a lot of years of memories. But what would you say some of the top? Maybe if you had to give a top three from your FFA experience to date.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of incredible opportunities through FFA. One of my favorites actually has been serving as a Barney here at the CHS Miracle of Birth Center, but along with that, I enjoy going to National Convention, and I had the opportunity to compete there in conductive chapter meetings as an 8th grader. Then I'll be going back for Parley this year, so that has helped me grow a ton, and I also enjoy going to the summer camps in the summer, so SGLC and SLCCL as a member and as a region president has helped me grow a ton, and I've enjoyed having all those opportunities and making memories and connections with members from across the state.
Wow, so okay, you mentioned parliamentarian procedure, so I guess I need to ask for a motion, right, to ask you the next question? You mentioned that it has really helped you grow. What ways have you seen personally your evolution through? What skills have you grown or developed through your participation?
Yeah, so I grew a ton with public speaking. As a 7th grader and 8th grader joining FFA, I was absolutely terrified to go to the meetings and to talk to new people, but now I just enjoy going up and meeting new members from across the state. It's the best ever, and just having more confidence and being able to do things like I'm doing right now.
Wow, thank you so much for your service. I've got to ask you the question that I've been asking everybody. What does the blue jacket mean to you?
Yeah, so for me, the blue jacket just means opportunities. So encompassing everything that FFA has to offer, taking every chance, and really just doing everything that comes your way. I enjoy doing all that and just having every opportunity. I think I've made so many memories, and without FFA, I would never be where I'm at today.
Well, we'll be cheering you on at National Convention this year, right, for parliamentary procedures. And looking forward to seeing you at state again next year. So we're going to be headed over to Region 4. Val's going to come back up. I want to remind you that this is the Great Minnesota Give Together Telethon. So we want to invite you to support FFA Minnesota by texting GREAT MN Gives to 50155. Again, please text GREAT MN Gives with a S to 50155. Val, I can't believe we're already on our way to Region 4. Where's the time going?
It's been a great time so far. We've got all this wonderful talent competition happening in, among other things. You know, there's just so many opportunities for young people through the FFA, and it might have been mentioned, but it's worth mentioning again if not. FFA programs exist in over 200 schools across the state of Minnesota. We impact over 43,000 students. These are young men and women that are developing the skills they need to be successful in their careers, as well as leaders for their community. And that's really something that's exciting and also one that we want to invest in. So I don't know about you, but I've been inspired so far.
Oh my God, I've been so inspired. In fact, when I was talking to Mary, I don't know where she is. I think she's in the chapter leadership house. I said, Mary, you know this, Val. You know I really want a blue jacket. I said, Mary, now, how can I just become a state member for just like a day, a couple days? Can I become an honorary member? Because, you know, I'm always inspired by the students, the leaders, and I'm like, I want to be inside the Cool Kids Club. You know, I always say I'm a farmer's wife, but I need to be a part of the Cool Kids Club. I get to serve on the board as vice chair.
Yeah.
But I still want my blue jacket.
It's exciting. You know, I think when people wear the jacket, they understand like they're part of something special. But it's, I think even as you get a little bit older and you reflect back, you realize how many opportunities the FFA program offered you. You know, I love standing up here and talking about FFA. It's near and dear to my heart. But this would have pretty much, you know, been a very overwhelming experience for me when I was 15 and 16 years old. Why am I here today? Because an agriculture teacher, Mr. Lee Thompson, inspired me to do some things that I wasn't that comfortable with. And I think that's the thing we're seeing in all these FFA members. Somebody is involved, giving them the encouragement.
Yeah,
and that's
we talked
what
about that strength spotting, saying, hey, I see this in you and you should pursue this. I mean, think about beautiful Kylie standing up here singing in French.
Right? It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we acknowledge that we have a matching dollar sponsor from Ron and Judy Nelson. So again, if you want to support today's telethon, please text Great MN Gives with the S, Great MN Gives to 51055.
Well, and we have supporters that happen throughout the whole year, but I really want to acknowledge the ones who have invested in the telethon, who make this possible. Ag Country, Ag Partners, CoBank, Land O'Lakes, the Dakota County Elks, Minnesota State Southern Agricultural Center of Excellence. Those corporations, businesses, and organizations believe in what we're doing and have made a financial contribution. I also want to give a shout out for the talent contest today. We are awarding scholarships to the top placers in our talent contest.
Yeah.
And so
FFA's got talent. I don't know if we can say that, but I'm saying it.
I think we can. I think we can. The top individual will receive a $500 scholarship, additional scholarships for second, third, and fourth. And that's made possible through some dollars through the state legacy cultural and arts program. So again, we value the opportunity to invest in these young people, encourage them in ways that they hadn't had an opportunity before.
Yeah, because we see their talents, and not only do we want to foster their leadership skills, their agriculture skills, but we want to foster their creativity too.
Yes, and I think that's that holistic approach to our young people. We invest in them in the classroom. We give them opportunities outside of the classroom. So a lot of ways, but it always takes supporters, whether they're in the local community or all of you have an opportunity.
We like to say, Val, there's no gift too big
or too small.
And so all you have to do to support FFA Minnesota Foundation today is text Great MN Gives to 51055. So Val, we're headed to Region 4. Where are we going to see there?
Yes, we're going to be in the center part of the state. The metro area is really kind of oversimplifying it, but we've got some great student stories that are coming up on the video. We've got a wonderful talent act during this next half an hour. We'll hear from some of our regional officers and one of our sponsors that has continued to support this important work.
Oh yeah, I saw him. He's like, you ought to know me. I'm here every year. So all right, enjoy Region 4.
Hello, Minnesota. My name is Tanner Glessing, currently a senior at Howard Lake Waverly Winston High School. I am proudly serving as your 2026 to 2027 Region 4 President, and it is my honor to introduce the amazing Region 4. Region 4 is proud to represent East Central Minnesota and the metro area. Region 4 is proudly home to places such as the U of M and also the State Fair. We're now going to turn it over to my fellow region officers to tell you more about our amazing region.
What's up, Minnesota FFA? My name is Audrey Frimpong. I'm a senior at Highland Park Senior High School, and I proudly serve as this year's Region 4 Vice President. Region 4 is home to more than 30 FFA chapters and numerous FFA members. With one of the highest membership rates in the entire state, our region continues to reflect the dedication, leadership, discipline, and positive impact of FFA members across both urban and rural communities.
Hi, I'm Cole Brenneman. I'm a senior at North Branch Area High School, and I'm honored to serve as this year's Region 4 Sentinel. Region 4 has many activities and opportunities for members to enjoy, with plenty of ways to get outside and enjoy everything that Minnesota has to offer. Whether it's fishing, hunting, camping, snowmobiling, boating, kayaking, or hiking, there's always something to do. We're also home to Haydays, the world's largest snowmobile and power sports event, and many state parks and recreational areas, including Interstate State Park in Taylor's Falls, where you can find some of the best rock climbing in Minnesota. No matter what you're into, Region 4 has something for everyone.
Hello, Minnesota FFA. My name is Salome Meyer, and I am a junior at Highland Park Senior High School in St. Paul. I am also serving as your Region 4 reporter. Region 4 FFA members always attend opportunities presented to them, such as State Convention, Summer Greenham Leadership Conference, Summer Conference for Chapter Leaders, Region Explore Day, Urban Ag Day, and many, many more. All these events help build leadership, communication, and teamwork skills.
My name is Nicole Toney. I'll be a junior this year, and I am a member of the Ogilvy FFA chapter, and I am currently serving as your 2026-2027 Region 4 Secretary. Our mixture of rural and urban schools is what makes Region 4 so special. We've got bustling urban schools, wide open rural schools, and everything in between. That means we all bring something different to the table. Some of us know tractors, some know technology, and together we can learn from each other. By sharing our perspectives, we're growing not only our knowledge of agriculture, but also stronger connections across our entire region. Different backgrounds, one shared passion, and that's what makes us stronger.
Thank you for joining Region 4 at the Minnesota State Fair. We're so excited for this upcoming year and the potential for growth that all of our members have.
It's just really expensive, and so earning a James Tracy scholarship has definitely helped me with my tuition and my housing costs. And without it, I wouldn't be able to be as involved on campus as I currently am. So on campus, I am a sophomore. I am majoring in animal science on a livestock production track and ag communications and marketing. For me, one thing that's been really important is campus involvement. I'm involved in our agriculture education, communication, and marketing club. I am the current president of our Block and Bridle Club, and I get to help run the Sheep and Goat Showdown coming this spring. I'm a member of the Beta of Clovia sorority, and I get to serve on their exec as a treasurer. My big thing is just thank you. Without their help, their support, going to college wouldn't be possible for me. You never know unless you try, so I highly, highly recommend that you just apply and find out if you're eligible or you receive a scholarship.
Hi everyone, my name is Oriana Gruber. I'm from Region 4 and I'm currently treasurer for the Highland Park FFA chapter. Today I'm going to share a story from the State Green Hand Leadership Conference that I went to this summer. So we had a really good week at camp and we learned a lot about leadership and teamwork, but most of all we met so many new people and I made lasting connections with FFA members from other chapters. So we spent a lot of time at Deep Portage focused on learning about how to work well with people, channel our strengths, and be leaders. But surprisingly, my favorite thing that I learned did not have much to do with the lessons we were learning. My best memory and biggest takeaway came on the last day. On the last day, we had a dance party. Now, I've been to dance parties before, but this was unlike any other dance party that I've ever been to. Usually, when I think of a dance party, I think of a bunch of kids jumping around in a circle to some music. And we did do this a little bit. But what made this dance party extra fun was that we did so many fun line dances. We did line dances like the Cupid Shuffle, Cotton Eye Joe, Fishing in the Dark, Watermelon Crawl, Church Clap, and some people were even able to do the Footloose dance. Now, I knew about half of these dances, so I followed along for half of them, and I was so excited to learn the other half of the dances. What made it extra fun was that my new friends were teaching me the dances, so it felt like our bond was being strengthened while we were dancing. The only one I wasn't able to pick up was the Footloose dance, because that dance is so crazy hard and so fast-paced. So kudos to anyone who can do that. I really hope to be able to learn that someday. So this was just such a fun experience because I had never been with such a great group of line dancers, and it did not cross my mind that I could dance with people like that as part of FFA. It was unheard of for me. So I decided that when I got home, I had two things I needed to do. Number one, I needed to memorize what the treasurer says during opening ceremony. And number two, I needed to learn the Footloose dance. So at the next conference I go to, prepare to see me doing the Footloose dance, everyone. Thanks for listening to my story.
So I joined FFA in high school as a freshman. Got involved in a few different contests, farm business management, parliamentary procedure, served as a chapter officer, was a region officer as well. My FFA advisor, Russ Runk, got me involved right away in 9th grade, and it really took off from there. I learned so much from the organization, leadership skills and whatnot. Parliamentary procedure was a fun contest. Little did I realize how much I would use that in real life. I served on the township board locally, and I'm on the school board now, and I use parliamentary procedure in every meeting and everything we do. I can honestly say I would not be where I am today as a business owner and a leader without my time in FFA and the things that I learned. And the alumni is great because they're that glue that kind of helps hold everything together, both at the local and the state level. And to volunteer and to help coach contests and to help raise money and do all of those things. And so, being involved in the FFA alumni and helping kind of re-engage and help grow the organization. A big way that I've given back is through our President's Circle. So the FFA alumni has a President's Circle leadership program that we started about 10 years ago, and it's used to train local alumni leaders in developing their leadership and becoming better leaders at the local level. And we really found that we wanted to focus on helping build local alumni. And so donating to the President's Circle has been a key way for me as a donor to help build alumni chapters and build alumni affiliates that then give back to the students at the local level. So kind of indirectly through the alumni, giving back to the students that way. I also donate to the scholarship program because I think getting FFA kids involved and not having money be a barrier for a reason that they can't get involved, and also just finding ways to develop better leadership for our students. We're seeing here today at convention all the wonderful things that our students are doing and can do from the FFA, and really helping grow that and give all those students an opportunity to do that. And just seeing how things are today compared to when I was in FFA a long time ago, it's really cool to see how things happen and the great things that the students are doing. For the students, it's all about getting involved. Take that first step. We hear a lot of stories about the student that was shy and maybe wasn't overly involved or wasn't sure about what to do, and working with their advisor to find that thing. The great thing about FFA is it's so broad. There's something for everybody, and it's just a matter of finding what that thing is for each student. And the same goes for donors and alumni and whatnot as well. Find that thing that really, sparks your imagination and gets you engaged and gets you involved. For foundation donations, it's about giving back to the students and helping grow this organization and give the students the opportunity to do what they can. Like I said, I wouldn't be where I am today without the FFA. And there were donors to the foundation and alumni members that helped get me to where I was as a student, and that helped support me to where I am today.
Wow, wasn't it great learning a little bit more about Region 4 here in the metro area? So we're coining this phase of the Great Minnesota Give Together FFA's Got Talent, and our next contestant is Anna Yang, and she's currently a senior at St. Paul Highland High School. Now, Anna, I understand that you're fairly new to FFA 1 year. So what's been one of your favorite memories of your FFA participation to date?
My favorite memory was definitely the state convention. I got to go there, learn a lot of new things about FFA, made a lot of new friends, and yeah, I had the greatest time of my life.
We love that. And you did this dance that you're going to be performing for us at the talent show during the state convention, correct? Alrighty, without further ado, we have Miss Anna Yang, and she's going to be doing a traditional Thai dance. Thanks so much, Anna.
ไกลแท้น้อหันเบิ่งหน้าคน แท้น้อหันเบิ่งหน้าคนรอคือทอดแท้เด้คนดีอดสาเอาเพราะเฮามันจนการดิ้นรนนั่นคือหน้าที่ห้ามน้ำตาแน่ตีอย่ารินไหลใจอ้ายสิลนบ่ต้องกังวลอ้ายสิทนเพื่อเจ้าสู้กับเงาหนักเบาสิดันดนไปบ่ดนอ้ายสิหวนคืนมาถ้าเดินนางถ้าเดินใจขอเอาไว้ดีๆเด้อสัญญาอดทนเดินนางอดเอาเด้อลาเมื่อนี้บอกลาเมื่อหน้าสิกลับมาเคียงนางสิข้ามดงพญาเย็นฝ่าดงพญาไฟสิลำบากเพียงใดบ่ยานอีหยังจักอย่างเพราะดวงแดงแค่คนเดียวคือเจ้าเพียวอีหลีนาขึ้นเห็นหน้าทุกครั้งเจออีหยังอายก็มีแรงทนบ่ต้องกังวลอ้ายสิทนเพื่อเจ้าสู้กับเงาหนักเบาสิดันดนไปบ่ดนอ้ายสิหวนคืนมาถ้าเดินนางถ้าเดินใจขอเอาไว้ดีๆเด้อสัญญาอดทนเดินนางอดเอาเด้อลามื้อนี้บอกลาฮอดมื้อหน้าสิกลับมาเคียงเราต้นทางคือเจ้าที่หักปลายทางก็ยังคือเฮาอ้ายสิไปคว้าดวงดาวแห่งฝันสองเฮามาฝากนาง
Wow, was that not beautiful? Oh my goodness. The poise, the strength, the coordination. I wish I were that talented. Alrighty, we have some fun guests on stage with us. We have the Region 4 Officer Leadership Team, and so I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. So Tanner, you take it away because you have the mic.
Absolutely. My name is Tanner Glessing. I'm from Howard Lake, Waverly Winstead, currently serving as a Region 4 president.
I'm Nicole Toney. I'm originally from the Ogilvy FFA chapter, and I'm currently serving as your Region 4 secretary.
Hi, I'm Cole Brenneman. I am from North Branch FFA chapter, and I am serving as the Region 4 sentinel.
Thank you all for joining us at the Minnesota Great Give Together today. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what your FFA experience has been today? Maybe tell us what grade you are and some of your favorite moments.
I think one of the biggest moments is just seeing all the connections I've made and reconnecting with those people.
And how are you connected? Are you connected on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok?
Every way possible.
Every way possible.
Mine would probably be more of like the different leadership opportunities I've gotten to do. This is definitely one of my biggest dreams come true, is to kind of get up on stage and just get to talk to everyone about FFA.
All right, well, take it away. You said this is one of your biggest dreams. So what do you want our audience in person and our viewing audience to know about FFA? We're all about helping dreams come true.
So FFA for me has definitely been like an eye-opener. It's definitely a learning curve for like if you want to be an officer, even at your chapter level. Just stepping up and kind of showing these other youth like how this can benefit you, and just growing you as a leader, and get, like what Tanner said, building connections and then getting to reconnect with these people in the future.
All right, so we have a few young people in the audience today, and I'm sure we have some watching. Why should they think about becoming an officer in FFA?
I would definitely say just like it gives you an opportunity to connect with other people. It opens doors for you guys in every way possible, not just through like scholarship opportunities. I have made so many new friends being an officer, and it's definitely built my self-confidence a lot. And it just overall, it's a great opportunity for them.
Wow. All right. Cole, what have been some of your great memories from your involvement in FFA?
I've had a lot of fun doing the different leadership conferences. Those have helped me a lot, and they've been a whole lot of fun. Say like the day at the Capitol also it's really cool to be able to meet your states, your representatives from your area, and talk to them and advocate for agriculture with them. Just helps you. Also, it's helped me a lot, and helps a lot of people with say public speaking or even just self-confidence. And being able to talk to people.
So FFA is providing valuable skills and unique experiences for your professional development at a young age. That's what I'm hearing you say. Thank you so much for being here at the Minnesota Great Give Together with us. Is there anything else you'd want to say? I've got one more question for you, but I want to make sure that I'm touching on everything you'd want to say before I go to our final question. No? Okay, so the final question for each one of you is, what does the blue jacket mean to you?
To me, the blue jacket means a lot to me. It's been really one of the big things in my life the past couple years. I've had a lot of fun of it. I've met a lot of really cool people and some really good friends, and been part of my life. And it's helped me grow a lot personally in terms of being able to talk to people and learning about leadership and all different things about agriculture. Yeah.
Thank you, Cole.
I'd probably say the blue jacket to me means it's kind of like a different organization for me. I've definitely found myself through this organization. It kind of helped me grow as a person, and just to kind of get out of my comfort zone and try new things without like being absolutely terrified of doing it, and just kind of going in doing things even if I don't know what I'm doing, with like a big smile on my face and acting like I know what I'm doing.
Thank you, Nicole.
The blue jacket to me means a couple of things. I think they hit the nail on the head with those answers. But just to expand it, I think it means a family. It's somewhere you can always go to have people support you, people to trust, and it's a way to expand your knowledge of everything. It increases your skills of leadership, promotes agriculture, and it's a great way to advocate and be involved in your community to help better it.
I love that. Thank you all again for joining us today. Val, I know you're going to come back, and you have a special friend of the Great Minnesota Give Together, Mr. Jerry Rankin. So we are going to say Goodbye, and thank you to our Region 4 officers.
Wonderful. Well, it's always fun to welcome a dear friend to the FFA. This gentleman here, we've gotten to know each other the last few years, Jerry Ranke. He is with the Dakota County Elks, and he is one of our Blue Ribbon sponsors today, and we're so grateful for the investment that he and fellow members of the Dakota County Elks have made in FFA members. Jerry, as we hold this beautiful check here and we talk about the support, you have a personal story and involvement with the FFA that I'd love for our audience to hear about.
Well, I'm the only one in my lodge. It's not that big. It's only 56 members that's ever been in the FFA. So I have a little bit of trouble discussing things with people that aren't used to the farm, but it's been fun, and it's been a lot of fun being here. I think this is the 4th year I've been on stage with you, and it's getting to know you over the years has been very interesting.
Well, I certainly welcome the chance to visit with you each and every year. I had the privilege of sharing a little bit about the impact of this gift with some of your fellow members. But Jerry, you were involved in the FFA, and I know we've talked a little bit about some of those experiences. What did that mean to you as a young person?
Well, I raised hogs, and Dad had chickens, so there was a little conflict. But anyway, you had to do it yourself. It wasn't up to him, so it's a learning experience, and I went on to do it for another 30 years or so.
Well, you talked about doing it yourself. I think that's one of the traits, and I don't know if we've really hit on it yet. It's that work ethic, that hard work that we work to instill in the young people. They have a project, they need to care for that, whether that's livestock or it's growing crops. But did that leave an impression with you as a young person that you were accountable for the things you were involved with?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been neat, and you had to do things because nobody else did them, and I was up here for 4 or 5 years with both 4-H and FFA, and back then, you know, if you brought a pickup load of stuff up here and you did pretty good in it, it was a good paycheck back then. You know, you could go home with $200-300 back in the middle 60s, so it was well worth it.
That tells me you were successful as a showman here at the fair. Our students still earn premiums. They still have a chance to earn some dollars and put that right back into their program. But that kind of a dollar amount back then really speaks to the quality of animals that you had. You know, as you look at the FFA today and you're seeing some of those students tonight, what thoughts do you have about FFA? Some of them are still what you probably remembered, hard work, the dedication of an agriculture teacher, but do some things still feel a little bit fresh or new?
Well, when they mentioned that the FFA starts back at 9 now, I think we could have joined 4-H at like 8 or 9 when I was there. So you get a longer run through it, and yeah, it would have been nice to have a couple more years doing it versus just your last group of high school.
What's really nice about the support you're giving today is that not only we've talked a lot about investing in students, but it's also investing in the development of teachers. And I share that because we are in 220 schools across the state of Minnesota. There are more schools that would like to add an agriculture program and ultimately the FFA, but it takes teachers to go into those classrooms, so we're supporting that as well. As you look at your own organization, the Dakota County Elks, what are some things you'd want people to know about your efforts as a club?
Well, one of our biggest fundraisers is out in Egan during Lent. We do 4 Fridays out of Lent for a fish fry at St. John's Catholic Church on Pilot Knob Road. It's something, I think the address is like a John Deere, 4020 Pilot Knob Road.
Well, that's awesome. Way to go. Bring it right back to agriculture. Bring it to John Deere. They are a supporter of FFA. We're excited to give them a little shout out suddenly. Jerry, I know sometimes you've had your FFA jacket with you. Sometimes I would think, oh, does corduroy shrink? What would you say to that?
Big time, 100 pounds heavier than I was.
Having been a high school agriculture teacher, we have the incredible task of sizing people up probably when they're in 7th grade, 8th grade, or 9th grade. And you look at mom and dad and you go, okay, how big is this genetic pool here? And so you and I probably don't look quite the way we did back when we were in the FFA. Well, Jerry, we are so excited that you continue to support FFA. I know that this goes without saying, but it is an investment well made. Thank you so much. And what would you want people to know about this gift?
Well, I was going to say one thing about the jacket. It's still in one piece with a couple pins on it hanging in the closet, but it's not bright blue anymore.
Well, they do tend to, just like the rest of like our hair color and stuff, sometimes things shift a little, don't they? But that blue corduroy jacket is certainly symbolic. And Jerry, I know we're going to keep talking to you because as we think about moving ahead, Minnesota FFA is not that many years away from celebrating 100 years. So we'll have to get together and celebrate that as well. All right, please join me in thanking Jerry and the Dakota County Elks. All right, well, we're kind of keeping the momentum going here with our telethon, and we're going to be moving into another region. But as we do that, I want to make sure we give a nice shout out to our supporters that have been with us tonight. That is Ag Country, Ag Partners, CoBank, the Dakota County Elks, as we just indicated, Land O'Lakes, and the Minnesota State Southern Agricultural Center of Excellence. We are so grateful for their support. I need to remind you, we have a matching funds sponsor. And Jasmine, what will that do when people support that matching fund?
Yeah, we are able to unlock an additional $1,000 thanks to the Nelson family. So we want to make sure that we encourage you to support the Great Minnesota Give Together by texting GREAT MN Gives, GIVES, to 50155. Again, Great MN Gives to 50115. So Val, where are we headed to next?
We're headed to Region 5, the west central part of the state. More great stories coming, FFA members shining, advisors and supporters across that part.
And we've got one more talent competition too coming up a little later.
We do, and we are going to announce the winner of this year's FFA's Got Talent tonight, so you'll want to stay with us for that. With that, let's head on to Region 5.
Hello, Minnesota FFA. My name is Andrew Schmitz, and I have the privilege of serving as the Minnesota FFA Region 5 President. From family farms and small towns to thriving agricultural communities, Region 5 is proud to represent the heart of central Minnesota. Our region is home to incredible members, dedicated advisors, and communities that believe in the power of agricultural education. Thank you to everyone supporting the Minnesota FFA Foundation Telethon. Your generosity helps keep opportunities that empower members like us to learn, lead, and succeed. Thank you for investing in the future of Minnesota FFA.
So I joined FFA in high school as a freshman. Got involved in a few different contests, farm business management, parliamentary procedure, served as a chapter officer, was a region officer as well. My FFA advisor, Russ Runk, got me involved right away in 9th grade, and it really took off from there. I learned so much from the organization, leadership skills and whatnot. Parliamentary procedure was a fun contest. Little did I realize how much I would use that in real life. I served on the township board locally, and I'm on the school board now, and I use parliamentary procedure in every meeting and everything we do. I can honestly say I would not be where I am today as a business owner and a leader without my time in FFA and the things that I learned. And the alumni is great because they're that glue that kind of helps hold everything together, both at the local and the state level. And to volunteer and to help coach contests and to help raise money and do all of those things. And so, being involved in the FFA alumni and helping kind of re-engage and help grow the organization. A big way that I've given back is through our President's Circle. So the FFA alumni has a President's Circle leadership program that we started about 10 years ago, and it's used to train local alumni leaders in developing their leadership and becoming better leaders at the local level. And we really found that we wanted to focus on helping build local alumni. And so donating to the President's Circle has been a key way for me as a donor to help build alumni chapters and build alumni affiliates that then give back to the students at the local level. So kind of indirectly through the alumni giving back to the students that way. I also donate to the scholarship program because I think getting FFA kids involved and not having money be a barrier for a reason that they can't get involved, and also just finding ways to develop better leadership for our students. You know, we're seeing here today at convention all the wonderful things that our students are doing and can do from the FFA, and really helping grow that and give all those students an opportunity to do that. And just seeing how things are today compared to when I was in FFA a long time ago, it's really cool to see how things happen and the great things that the students are doing. For the students, it's all about getting involved. Take that first step. You know, we hear a lot of stories about the student that was shy and maybe wasn't overly involved or wasn't sure about what to do, and working with their advisor to find that thing. You know, the great thing about FFA is it's so broad. There's something for everybody, and it's just a matter of finding what that thing is for each student. And the same goes for donors and alumni and whatnot as well. Find that thing that really, you know, sparks your imagination and gets you engaged and gets you involved. You know, for foundation donations, it's about giving back to the students and helping grow this organization and give the students the opportunity to do what they can. Like I said, I wouldn't be where I am today without the FFA. And, you know, there were donors to the foundation and alumni members that helped get me to where I was as a student, and that helped support me to where I am today.
Things that come to my mind are the fact that, you know, honesty, humble, helpful, those kind of things really describe Jim to me.
All us young boys used to go help the Tracys on the farm, baling hay and whatever, and we've had a lifelong friendship.
Through scholarships, you know, helping young people get a start in college. He never had that opportunity to go beyond high school. He was in the Marines, of course, but his education stopped at high school, other than the fact that he was kind of self-taught. This was Jim's jacket. He graduated from high school in 1960.
Everything he did was always giving to somebody else, and that's kind of how their family was.
And he could see the best in everybody, you know. The bad ones get all the publicity, but he could see the good in the kids that were out there.
I live in Mankato, Minnesota, as a member at Minnesota Lake. I think getting started at first, the opportunity for FFA to get me into pigs. I learned how to take care of pigs and make a little bit of money doing it. I had Berkshires at first and at last Yorkshires. I won a Yorkshire bred gilt at Austin, Minnesota. I just raised them pigs on the farm, yeah. I didn't get into much other than that, traveling with FFA, you know. Well, we milked cows back then. That was for my folkses. And I had my pigs. And we had a small farm. It was like only 120 acres. It had corn and oats. Not much in soybeans back them days. I think so, yeah, from the start of FFA, you know. Just these pigs. Yeah, that's what all that consists of, and the FFA was the pigs, yeah. When I first started in FFA, yeah, it was a pretty good opportunity for me there to get started. It's got me where I am today, you know. I'm very thankful for the FFA. This was the way I given this farm back, you know, so more students can have a chance to get something going through scholarships or something, you know. They all need help, you know. I was just a kid when I started, you know, and they helped me raise pigs, you know. And it was all hard work.
When you think of the impact of this gift, how does that make you feel, knowing that you made a significant investment and because of that, thousands of students will have opportunities? How does that make you feel?
Well, yeah, grateful, yeah. That's the idea of it all, you know. farming is very important, and every dollar's going to help with students that want to get involved in farming, girls or boys, there's a place for everyone in farming. The FFA Creed by E.M. Tiffany. I believe in the future if agriculture with the faith born not of the words but of the deeds, achievements won by present and past generations of agriculturists and the promise of better days through better ways, even as better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. Well, I was just a kid then, and they got me into these pigs, and that's something I never forgot, and it was them that helped me get going with hard work, and FFA changed my life. Because of them people, and I'm very grateful for it, and that's why I'm giving the farm away,
Hello, this is the Region 5 officer team, and my name is Andrew Schmidt, and I'm currently serving as the Region 5 president.
Hi, my name is Aurora Voigt, and I'm serving as the Region 5 vice president.
Hi, I'm Ava Meyer, and I'm serving as the Region 5 secretary.
Hi, I'm Madison Sullivan, and I'm serving as the Region 5 treasurer.
Hi, I'm Poppy Riggy, and I'm serving as the Region 5 reporter.
Hi, I'm Cesar Pizzana. I am serving as the Region 5 sentinel.
Hi, I'm Ellie Vosh, and I'm serving as the Region 5 parliamentarian.
Hi, I'm Abby Smith, serving as your Region 5 historian.
FFA welcomed us with opportunities, experiences, and a place to belong.
FFA gave us friendships, memories, laughter, and people to lean on.
FFA pushed us beyond comfort, teaching courage, confidence, and determination.
FFA has taught us leadership, responsibility, hard work, and service.
Through FFA, we discovered passions, strengths, dreams, and purpose.
Along the way, challenges became lessons and experiences became growth.
FFA built our foundation and inspired our future.
8 officers,
8 journeys,
1 organization that shaped us all.
Thank you for supporting Region 5.
And we are back. Wasn't it exciting learning a little bit more about Region 5? We are coming up on our final talent entry for FFA's Got Talent live at the Great Minnesota Give Together at the State Fair. And we have Carly Loke. And Carly is a rising 12th grader at Alden Conger. She's been involved in FFA for 6 years, is that right? Yeah. Is your microphone on?
Yes.
Yay, there we go. So I've been asking everybody this question. What's one of your favorite memories of your participation at FFA?
A few years back, I got to compete at the state convention where I sang Count on Me, and I placed 3rd overall.
Wow, congratulations. So you're just letting us know that you are a winner before you even open your voice. So without further ado, we have Miss Carly Loke, and she is going to be singing The Climb that was originally covered by Miley Cyrus. The stage is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaken, but I gotta keep trying, gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain, I'm always gonna wanna make it move, always gonna be an uphill battle, sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there, ain't about what's waiting on the other side.
Wow, thank you so much. Congratulations on a great performance. Let's hear it again for Carly. Woo! All right, well, hey, we're on the second half of the telethon, and I couldn't be more excited because we still have wonderful stories to tell. We've got FFA members to visit with, some others that play key roles. Our talent contest, now all 4 contestants have been performed, and so we will be announcing yet during the telethon our winner for the FFA's Got Talent. But today, and at this moment, I'd like to visit with Edward Winters, the state FFA treasurer. Edward, thanks for being with me. All right, let's make sure your mic is on. And then let's go ahead and just kind of visit about all the things that you've been involved with in the FFA. So first off, your FFA chapter is?
Yeah, I'm from the Zumbrota-Mazeppa chapter originally.
All right, so what got you into the FFA, or who?
So mine's kind of like a lot of people. I ended up just walking into the agricultural classroom when I was in 8th grade. Had an ag class, walked in, and they started talking about FFA. So I showed up to a meeting, and I guess the rest is history.
All right, well, we've had the opportunity to spend some time together as we do some of our visits with business and industry partners. And one thing that I know is you like to show livestock. So tell us about that part of your FFA experience.
Yeah, so I have been blessed with the opportunity to be able to show livestock throughout my FFA career. I mainly show beef cattle with South Devon breeding cattle, and I've been able to do that both here through the state level in FFA and then nationally as well. So it's a unique opportunity and really be able to then network with and connect with the public too, and be able to show non-agricultural background folks about the opportunities that agriculture has and how it affects everybody's lives, no matter if you lived on a farm or if you live here in the city.
Well, I know from our visits in the past, not only are you involved with livestock, but you also have kind of a green thumb. Can you walk us through that part of your supervised ag experience program?
Yep. So for one of my supervised agriculture experiences, or SAE projects, I have the opportunity to work at a local greenhouse where I'm able to help manage both the operations and then also facility maintenance and operations of our facilities. And that's been a great opportunity to help learn more about the nursery operations, and then kind of gain an interest and passion that, even though I'm not going to pursue into a career in the future, it's a passion and hobby that I can take into just a personal interest. And everybody has landscaping around their house, so it's something you're going to use the rest of your life.
That's true. That's true. The other things that you use throughout the rest of your life is leadership skills. You are the state treasurer. So what does that mean as you're serving the 16,000 plus FFA members across the state?
Yeah, so being able to serve as the state treasurer, a lot of people would assume that I'm dealing with the checkbook. That we're a little bit larger than that, but it's more of an honorary title. But it's like a unique opportunity to be able to connect with so many different members, and especially members who maybe sometimes you don't want to expect to be an FFA member right off the bat. Maybe not from an agricultural background, or someone who's maybe a little more shy. I know personally, I was a little more of a shy, timid person right when I joined FFA, but it really gave me the opportunity through contests like the prepared public speaking contests and parliamentary procedure, the opportunity to grow and become more confident and bold in speaking and working with others. So serving as a state treasurer, I am blessed with that opportunity to be able to connect with some of those students that I feel like are how I was as a younger member, and be able to connect with them and encourage them to try new opportunities and learn about new passions.
Well, you came off of having some camps and conferences this summer. You work with some new younger members. What did that mean to you as a person who kind of has gone through those things and now you're at this point?
Yeah, I just love being able to work with some of those members and see the potential in them. A lot of times members don't realize the potential that they all have, and being able to kind of try to find exactly where that potential is and help them unlock it and grow in it is something that I really enjoy, and it really energizes me when I see it start to take flight in members.
Well, I know you've been here for a few days already here at the Great Minnesota Get Together, but tonight, of course, the Get to Give Together. What does the rest of the fair look like for you, Edward?
Yeah, so for the rest of the last fair here, I'll be here helping some different exhibitors exhibit their livestock, and then I'll be here next weekend for FFA weekend, where we'll have many FFA livestock exhibitors and other participants participate in both shows and then other contests throughout the weekend, and help them engage in all those and celebrate their successes.
So what we're really saying to our guests here, as well as the ones online, they need to come back for the FFA encampment, the FFA weekend, right?
You betcha. There is going to be something for everyone, and if you're not interested in livestock, there are plenty of other things like floriculture, for example, that will be going on. So.
Excellent. Well, Edward, thank you so much for being my guest tonight. Appreciate it.
Yep, glad to be here.
All right, the fun continues. I welcome Jasmine back up to the stage, as well as our special guest with the Minnesota FFA alumni and supporters. So, Jasmine, I'll hand it over to Amanda.
Thanks, Val.
I'm really excited to be here with Amanda
Zeidler.
Zeidler. Thank you very much. I forgot to ask you pronunciation backstage. So, Amanda, you kind of have an unconventional path with your leadership role in FFA. So I want two things. I want you to introduce yourself and talk about your position, and then tell us a little bit about your story, because you weren't the typical person we would think to be president of an alumni association.
Thanks, Jasmine. My name is Amanda Zeidler. I'm currently serving as the Minnesota FFA Alumni and Supporters President. And like she mentioned, I have a very unconventional way of getting to this point. What happened is my oldest child had gotten involved with FFA. We had a farm, a hobby farm, very involved in the agriculture world. But I was not an FFA student. I did not wear the blue jacket, nor did my husband. So we were invited to go to an alumni meeting that night. And the whole time, I just kept grabbing my chair saying, I don't belong here. And you know what? The thing I figured out that night and every day after that is everybody has a place with FFA alumni and supporters.
Yes,
Yep.
everybody does. Not
Yes.
with just, I think, alumni within the FFA community.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. So we want to further that, and we consider ourselves the boots on the ground. So we really, really try to work in conjunction with all the other partner organizations like the foundation. They're doing the important role of the fundraising and earning that to help support that. We try to be the boots on the ground, really being in the trenches, helping the advisors, the students to grow, matching up people with those needs, and trying to figure out what they can do.
So what are some examples of the boots on the ground activities? Like you mentioned matching up, supporting the ag educators in the classrooms. What are some of the things that the FFA Alumni Association is currently doing?
You know, some of the things, it can be as simple as one of my good friends would say. She started with making a pan of brownies. So if you can cook, there's your role. But we do everything we're also really concentrating right now on our young alumni. We're trying to help those who have recently graduated, maybe going through college, just starting your families and your careers, that they still have a place even without that blue jacket, that they can still, wherever they are in Minnesota, we can find you a chapter, an advisor, a student to support, to help coach, to help chaperone, just things like that. There's literally a place.
I think the coaching and the life mentoring that you're
Correct.
offering the recent grads is, very important, because it can be hard transitioning from high school to college, especially if you've been at the top of your game and you've been a state officer and all of these things, and then you're just a person in
Yes.
the world,
Yes.
and you're like, but wait a minute, don't you know who I am? And you've had this great insular community around you.
Yeah.
It can be a shock.
It can, and we've got a lot of things. I know we have an executive director, Natasha, who's been doing a lot of great things, helping us to
Don't we just
keep
love
that.
Natasha and I, we were talking about this. We go way, way, way back. We were little
Yes.
youngins together,
Yes.
Natasha and I.
Oh, and she's so good at helping us facilitate what we're doing, because we're a volunteer organization. So we don't get paid to do what we do. We get paid in the smiles and the just seeing the success of both the adults and the students that are learning and growing from this, because we offer leadership for all levels. We offer scholarships so the students can go to the camps and they can learn those leadership skills and meet new people and network. We have, for the young alumni, we just started a next program, and without that next conference, or without the foundation, that next conference probably wouldn't have been as successful. They were willing to help us cover all the registration fees and the logistics this last year for our inaugural year to help those students. We also brought back past state officers to help lead that. So we're just trying to help them find their place.
That's wonderful. One quick question before we go. We know you had an unconventional path to FFA, but what does the blue jacket mean to you as a person that's never worn it, just like me?
Wow, I can't even tell you. I mean, the passion that I have grown to have, and it was just immediate. Like, you just see the success in every story. Those students who have not grown up on a farm or had any part in agriculture, to those who maybe are 5th generation FFA or agriculture, you see the success and the growth everywhere, and you can't help but be part of and proud of that growth and success.
Yeah, it's the legacy. Thanks
is.
so much for joining us,
Yes.
Amanda, and thank you so much for your service
Yes.
to the FFA Alumni Association. Val is coming back on the stage with
Thank
some
you, Jasmine.
special officers.
All right, Jasmine, we'll put them right here. Okay, well, we are joined by Region 5 FFA officers, and I'd love for them to introduce themselves, and we're going to ask a few questions about your involvement in the FFA, so go right ahead.
My name is Andrew Schmitz, and I'm currently serving as the Region 5 president, and I hail from the Eden Valley Watkins FFA chapter.
Hello guys, my name is Cesar Pizzana. I am currently serving as your Region 5 Sentinel, and I am from the Glencoe Silver Lake FFA chapter.
All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how you got in the FFA and the role that your advisor has had on your involvement.
So at my chapter, we have 2 advisors, Ms. Yoon and Mr. Warren, and they both have played a huge, vital role in how I have grown as an FFA officer. They have really pushed me into leadership roles where I feel that I've learned a lot more about FFA and how to lead. And so I owe where I'm at right now to Mr. Warren and Ms. Yoon.
You know, I have to kind of pull that out of you because I think FFA advisors, they don't get enough credit for what they do, right? They give up the evenings, they give up Saturdays, they give up some time in the summer. So appreciate you sharing that. Caesar, how about your advisors?
For me, my advisor started off by us meeting each other in the agricultural classroom. I had no clue what FFA was until I'd walk in and be like, just be met with a bunch of wonderful FFA members with their kindness. It was very inclusive, and I always wanted to be a part of it.
So what has this FFA journey looked like so far? Since Caesar, you've got the mic, we're going to ask you that question first. What are the things that you've been involved with that, you know, again, you might not have thought of yourself doing years ago?
So through FFA, I've started advocating for agriculture through other organizations, and I've also started showing animals by getting them leased from neighboring local farms, getting to meet with them almost every other day and getting to learn what a farmer life is.
All right, how about you?
So I've taken on a lot of different leadership roles, starting as a chapter officer and working my way up now as the region president. So I've learned a lot more about advocating for others and helping others get into other roles where they can promote themselves. This past year, I was also the Minnesota FFA National Delegate at the National Convention in Indianapolis, where I was able to work on making FFA a more inclusive place.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. FFA is the largest student-led organization. So when you talk about being a delegate, you are actually working and representing the 16,000 FFA members in Minnesota. What was that experience like?
I think that was my most favorite experience that I've gotten to be a part of so far in FFA. Being able to learn more about the other states and associations across the state, like the difference from the Alaska Association to the Puerto Rico Association is so great, and working on how we can make everybody in between there feel like they've made a difference in FFA.
All right, Caesar, can you share your story? What was something that you have kind of been involved with that is a bit stretch for you or been very rewarding?
Something that I've been involved in that is very rewarding. Like I said, like he said as well, becoming a part of the region officer team. I am looking forward for this year to leading new members and gaining new membership.
So Region 5 certainly is doing great things. I used to be an agriculture teacher in your region, so congratulations for all that you have done. As a regional officer, what is your role or responsibility to the other FFA members in your area?
No, you got it.
So my role is to be sentinel. I hold the door open for people, greet them. I like to be inclusive. I like to check in on people, make sure everyone has a smile on their face. I like making sure the room is comfortable. And yeah.
Well, if you're greeting me and you give me that big smile, I think I too will feel welcome and included. So appreciate that. You've got a different job title, Mr. President. What is your role?
So my role is to work together with all of the different chapters, and so that they feel like they're being heard within our region, and then being able to move that up the chain to the association and work together with other regions to overcome different goals that we have throughout the year.
Well, are you here this coming weekend for FFA encampment? Are the two of you going to be here?
I hope to be here.
I will be here showing goats.
All right, everybody, you heard it. You need to get to the goat barn because Caesar's going to be there. You're going to try to get back, and we're going to have a great time during this coming weekend FFA encampment. Well, this is a great segue for us to say stay with us. We're going to now roll into Region 6.
Hello everyone, my name is Addison Schumacher and I'm currently serving as your Region 6 President. We are proudly representing the southwest corner of Minnesota. Our FFA members love hunting, fishing, and farming, and we love supporting agriculture. I can't wait for you guys to meet my Region Officer team.
Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin Runge and I am currently serving as the Region 6 Vice President.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Venadaru, and I'm from the Edgerton FFA chapter. I'm the 2026-2027 Region 6 Secretary. A fun fact from our region, down in the southwest corner of Minnesota, is that in the fall we hold a Green Hand Day, where we work as a region officer team with chapter advisors and more to come up with a day where Green Hands can come together to learn more about FFA opportunities and just what they might be interested in.
Hi, my name is Addison Spielman and I am your Minnesota 2026 Region 6 FFA Treasurer. Region 6 is located in the southwest corner of Minnesota, where the land is so fertile we are able to grow anything we want, from corn to squash to pumpkins, watermelon, even strawberries. We love to put on our competitive spirits and work with our animals so we can also make it to Minnesota State Fair at the end of August and show off our skills and showmanship.
My name is Alex Confer, currently serving as the Region 6 reporter from the Sleepy Eye FFA chapter. Did you know that Region 6 is home to the top 3 pork producers in the state of Minnesota? Pipestone Management, located in Pipestone, Christensen Farms, located in Sleepy Eye, and Schwartz Farms, located in Sleepy Eye.
Hi everybody, my name is Macy Dirksen and I am the Sentinel of your Region Officer team this year. My competition currently in FFA is Vet Science. A fun fact about our region is we have 23 active chapters and around 1,500 members that participate.
Been on the FFA Foundation for about 5 years now. I work as a role in treasury, and while I wasn't in FFA growing up, I grew up on a small farm. My parents still farm today near Osakis, Minnesota, so have that agriculture background. I currently work for CHS, which is a large agricultural cooperative. And so I got involved in the FFA Foundation mainly to give back to ag. And I've seen for myself what it can do for students. We have a nice scholarship program that the FFA Foundation supports. And that's really a great way that the FFA Foundation supports students by giving annual scholarships for college education. That to me really is important. I know there's a lot of students who have trouble being able to fund their college tuition, and this is a way that they are able to make the ends meet and get into some great careers, whether it be in agriculture or teaching or business. CHS has a motto, creating connections to empower agriculture. And there's a lot of aspects about that ag that we try to give back to our communities. So the CHS Foundation supports the FFA and its foundation. And really our goal is to promote ag and ag education. CHS's role is very aligned with FFA, and I'm proud to work for that organization and proud to be part of the FFA Foundation. It's very easy to donate to the FFA Foundation, and if you follow their social media posts, you'll see that accessible, whether you're donating $2 or $2,000, your donation matters. It makes an impact. I spoke about the impact on students who are entering college in their scholarships, but there's other ways that we're impactful. We support the FFA teams in the schools. We support the ag educators. And we are just there to help with ag education and the FFA's mission. So I encourage you to donate today, no matter your size of gift. We'd love to have you support us.
I've been looking for a way to give back. And you know, when I think in the past, I'm always humbled by the people that went before us and kind of blazed the trail and invested in FFA and other agricultural programs. And I was always looking for a way, and it really excites me to be able to invest in our next generation of future agriculturists, teachers, scientists. And if it helps one kid get an opportunity to pursue a passion, it's a big win for everybody. I grew up outside Tracy, Minnesota on a diversified crop and cattle hog farm. Went to NDSU for my undergrad in animal science, was always looking forward to coming home and farming. That opportunity didn't work out, so I continued to go on to graduate school, got my master's and PhD in swine nutrition, and today I have a company called Ideal Animal Nutrition, and we serve pig farmers from Canada to Kansas, Montana to Indiana, helping them solve production problems, be more profitable, and just be on their farm. No, I've chaperoned the Tracy chapter for I think the last 3 or 4 years. I have a couple daughters in the Tracy chapter, so they've asked me to come up, and I also coach the general livestock judging team. I always look most forward to seeing the kids and seeing their accomplishments, because in the news and the social media and everything, you see how bad kids are, and you get up here and these kids are just awesome, how much work they put into their programs and their projects, how respectful they are. You know, they conform to the dress code even though they don't like it, but I think that's awesome. And it just gives you a sense that, yeah, the future is going to be really good, especially for rural America and agriculture. I always think without volunteer hours and monetary donations, things like this doesn't happen or continue to progress into the future. So when I challenge people to do this, I think about what's been given to you in your past and the opportunities you've been given, and provide that for the future.
Now we get to hear from some Region 6 members on how FFA has impacted their life. Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin Runge and I am currently serving as the Region 6 Vice President. FFA has impacted my life in so many different ways and has truly changed it for the better. I've had the opportunity to learn so many different skills through my time in the Blue Jacket, but the most impactful one has been getting me out of my comfort zone and teaching me how to public speak. As an 8th grader, I was scared to death to compete in the creed speaking competition. But with my advisor believing in me and giving me just a little push, I was able to make it to state in 2024 and win, advancing me to nationals in 2025, where I even placed in the top 16, which is something that 8th grade Caitlin thought she could never do. Learning the FFA creed taught me what FFA stands for and helped develop my true passion for agriculture. If it weren't for FFA and that little push from my advisor, I wouldn't be in the position where I am today, getting to serve at a larger level. And I know that every FFA event that I get to attend truly develops me into a better leader.
Hi, my name is Lauren Torkelson from the Tracy FFA chapter in Region 6, and my favorite part about FFA is making all the memories, meeting new friends, and broadening my horizons for the future. And FFA means so much to me because it has brought myself out of my comfort zone, made me a better person, and prepared me for the future. And I joined FFA because all of my friends that were older than me told me it would be a great opportunity for me, and my grandpa was actually in FFA, so I got to wear his jacket for my first and second year, so I thought that would mean a lot to him.
Hi, my name is Ramsey Johnson, and I am from the Heron Lake Okabena FFA chapter in Region 6. One of my biggest key takeaways from FFA is always feeling like I'm a part of something. I transferred schools my junior year, which was never the plan, and I already knew that connections and friendships would already be formed, but the minute I walked into school, my FFA advisor came up, introduced herself, and found me a new CDE that she knew I would enjoy. From there, I have then competed at region level and state level, as well as gone on many trips and became a part of the officer team. Through FFA, I've learned to be more confident myself and stand up for the things I believe in. I'm very thankful for all the opportunities that FFA has brought to me, and I continue to look for more opportunities throughout my senior year.
My favorite part about FFA is the fact that I can meet new people. It's definitely developed my communication skills because of it. The reason why FFA means so much to me is because it's an activity I can do with my friends. It's a way I can make new friends, and it's grown my responsibility, especially this year as Chapter Sentinel and my last year as Junior High President. The reason why I joined the FFA was because of my past advisor, Mary Huffman. She believed that everybody had a place in FFA, and she encouraged me to join a CDE. I continue this belief through my time in this program.
And we are back at the Great Minnesota Give Together. Wasn't it fun learning about Region 5? I am being joined by two special guests, and I'm so excited. Okay, Caitlin Runge, correct? Welcome.
Hi. So my name is Caitlin Runge. I am from St. James, and I am here working as a Miracle Birth Center attendant. I just started my session today, and we are joined by Walter, who was born 2 days ago, and he was born with a litter of 17 other piglets.
Okay, so you said Walter was born 2 days ago, and he was born with how many other piglets?
16. He's from a litter of 17.
Oh, and he is so cute. Hi, Walter. Is he asleep? Oh. Okay, so what are you enjoying about being a Barney at the Miracle Birth Center, CHS Miracle Birth Center?
Yeah, so like I said before, my session just started, so it's kind of been a lot of learning and how to kind of talk to the public and stuff like that. But I really enjoy just getting to educate the public about what America's role is in agriculture and their food, and kind of show them what I love about agriculture so much and why it's such a huge passion of mine. I love having conversations with like the little kids and answering any questions that they may have to help them understand kind of what farmers do, and I guess on my side, pigs more so, but just kind of educate them on everything that FFA does in agriculture. And
now you mentioned you're from St. James. Are you from a hog farm?
Yeah, so I am from a 6th generation family farm. We have corn, beans, and hogs. So I kind of help out there whenever I'm needed, but I also got into showing livestock through 4-H when I was just a clover bud. So I've been showing pigs for about 11 years, and I actually just got done showing through the 4-H encampment here at the State Fair.
All right, so I know this is just like make-believe. This is totally on the fly. But if you were to show Walter as a baby, what would you do? What does that look like for someone that's like, what is this showing animals? Give us a little preview.
Okay. Well, it's kind of a little bit hard to do with him sleeping, but there's kind of a lot of prep that goes into pigs. I guess the main thing when you're showing pigs that they're looking for, there's a lot of different kind of classes, but if you were to go for a market class, they'd be looking for the right amount of muscle and meat to make sure, well, I guess in fat, to make sure that the public is getting a good amount of meat. So,
Wait, I'm going to ask you, explain what a market class is.
Yeah, so there is a breeding class and a market class. So the breeding class is pigs that will go on to be used and can have piglets, and then can be used to be raised and have show pigs themselves. And then there's a market class, which is basically based off of what would make a perfect market hog. So what you would be eating, the meat, the fat content, and everything that kind of goes into that. So the correct amount of muscle, the correct amount of fat, everything that you would really want to be eating in a perfect way.
In the perfect marketplace. Yes. But Walter's got quite a little while before we've got to worry about him being, I guess he will be a market pig maybe, unless he's going to be somebody's personal pet, but he sure is cute. One of the things that I've asked everybody, what does the blue jacket mean to you, Caitlin?
Yeah, so I am as heavily involved in FFA as I am because of my sister. So I would say that the blue jacket to me means all the different opportunities and connection it gives you. I wasn't super involved in FFA until around my freshman year. I've been a member since I was a 7th grader, but I kind of started going to a lot of different camps and conferences at the state level, and I've grown in that and my leadership skills. And I was even able to attend the Washington Leadership Conference out in Washington, D.C. this past June, which was such an amazing experience. So it's really taught me a lot about how to be a better leader, just life skills in general and everything that it's going to benefit me later in life. Public speaking skills, so I'm able to do this. And then all the connections it gives me. I met all my best friends through FFA, and really the people are unlike any other that you meet.
Okay, we learned a little bit about the Washington Leadership Conference when Aiden was up speaking. So two follow-up questions. One, you mentioned that you didn't get super involved until high school, even though you'd been a member for 2 years prior. Maybe tell us a little bit about what helped you decide that, hey, I want to get more involved. I'm gonna put my foot in, not just my toes in this FFA water. And then secondly, we learned that at the Washington Leadership Conference, you put together a service legacy plan. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what's on your plan?
Yes, totally. So the first question about what made me kind of get into a little bit more when I was a high schooler, my sister kind of started getting heavily involved in the leadership aspect of it. So she was a region president and then went on to be a state officer. And she was like, hey, I think this is really cool and it kind of seems like something that would be down your alley. Like, why don't you come along with me to like camp? So I started out at the State Green Hand Leadership Conference for 7th through 9th graders. And that's where I was kind of like, this is actually really cool. It's teaching me a lot about different life skills and leadership skills, and I'm meeting a lot of really cool people. So I kind of just kept on going along with her, and the more I do, the more involved I am, the more I get out of it, and the more I love it. So the more events that I attend and the more opportunities FFA gives me, the more I just love it even more. And my second question, the leadership or the service project, I did mine on an ag in the classroom portion of it. So kind of advocating for agriculture and to the youth. So my plan is to go to classrooms in elementary school and teach them each month about something that kind of pertains to that month. So if I were to start in October, I would teach them about pumpkins, and then like November, turkeys, and keep on going. So I could kind of give the kids that are in my elementary school a little bit better of a sense about where their food comes from and kind of how it all works on the agriculture side.
Thank you so much. We've got Amanda ready to come up with some more guests. You got to call me. I'm going to give you my number. I've got some great pumpkins in my garden. Maybe I can go to a classroom with you in October.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Amanda Summers. Welcome back. We're glad to have you all here. Again, for those of you that weren't here earlier, the program coordinator here at the Minnesota FFA Foundation. We're thrilled to have you all with us. I have a very special guest who I'm going to let introduce herself, but I hope you'll love hearing Ella's story, so go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ella Arsvold, and I'm currently serving as your Minnesota FFA state reporter. I am from the town of Casson, so my home chapter is the Casson-Manorville FFA chapter, where I started out my journey.
So tell us a little bit about your FFA story. What got you on this stage? Tell us a little bit about your SAE. These folks in the audience would love to hear.
Yeah, I actually really love talking about just where I came from. So I got involved in FFA because of my family. My parents were both involved in FFA. My cousins, older siblings, were all heavily involved in the FFA. And so I just thought it was another stepping stone that I had to go through. And it wasn't until about my sophomore year of high school that I really fell in love with the organization. Being able to be involved in so many different ways, especially bringing in my home life into my FFA project. So my supervised agricultural experience is dairy goat entrepreneurship as well as beef cattle entrepreneurship. So the things that I do at home, caring for my cattle, caring for my goats, and all the products that I get from my goat's milk, I get to put that into my project and kind of carry that into my FFA journey as well.
Amazing. And we're here to talk a little bit about scholarships, and the Minnesota FFA Foundation offers scholarships in many ways. We offer college scholarships, we offer Blue Jacket scholarships, and we also offer conference scholarships, conferences or camps. And so we'll talk a little bit about Washington Leadership Conference. That is one of the first ways we offer scholarships to students. Tell us a little bit about the Washington Leadership Conference. I know you haven't been there, but what do you hear from FFA members about that conference?
Yeah, FFA members give raving reviews about the Washington Leadership Conference. I can tell you that much. So this involves going out to Washington, D.C. and being able to really learn more about leadership in general from the national officer team and national staff. They're able to do some service projects along the way as well. Just really immerse themselves in the area of Washington, D.C., see some sites, and just really get involved.
And without scholarships, some folks may not be able to attend, right? And so for some, that's one of their highlights of their FFA career. We still have board members or sponsors that was one of their highlights of their FFA journey. And so we're proud to support that because of sponsors like those of you in the audience and those sponsors to this telethon today. So let's talk about the Blue Jacket. That is another way that we offer scholarships here from the Minnesota FFA Foundation through our Blue Jackets Bright Futures program. Tell us a little bit about what that Blue Jacket means to you, Ella.
Yes, so for me personally, this jacket is a community and a family built into my own. It gives me somewhere to go when I'm having a little bit of a rough day. It reminds me that there's people in my corner that are rooting for me, both in life and in the classroom. It's just really important to me to have a good circle, and I feel that this FFA jacket connects people. You can point anyone out in a crowd that's wearing this corduroy.
And I think the Blue Jacket really gives FFA members the opportunity of a lifetime, right? Without the jacket, without zipping up that jacket for the very first time, students may not have had those opportunities without it, right? There's so much that FFA offers that because of the jacket. Lastly, we have college scholarships. We have a program called the Minnesota FFA Foundation Scholarship Program, and that now encompasses 3 scholarship areas that is continuing to grow and something we're very proud of. Miss Ella on this stage with me was a recipient of one of our scholarships, the James W. Tracy Scholarship. Ella, tell us what that scholarship meant to you.
Yes, this scholarship really is helping me out with a lot of my college needs. So I'm going to university this fall to double major in agricultural education and in animal science. So this scholarship is really helping me out a lot financially. There's many students that are being able to receive this award, and it is just so fun to be able to not only receive the award, but also to be given a shout out at our state convention with everybody else that's being able to receive it as well.
Absolutely. And this year, do you remember the number of James W. Tracy scholarships we gave out?
There was
do you have a guess?
53.
53 is right. So that was the state FFA convention has a very big stage, and it was very full, which is a wonderful testament to James W. Tracy, who was a Denison area farmer who donated his entire estate to the Minnesota FFA Foundation, as well as Randolph FFA chapter. And we are able to award scholarships on a large basis each year because of his generosity. You're able to go to continue your college career because of that generosity. We also have 2 newer scholarships, the James and Donna Thayer Family Scholarship. They offer 2 scholarships each year currently, and we also offer the Ames Family Legacy Scholarship. And that is for 4 students who are going to a technical college or a 2-year career. And as we know, Ella, right, the trades are really growing, and career in tech ed is very important to the FFA. We couldn't do it without those, couldn't live without our trades today. So we are very thankful for that scholarship. But tell us, what's your future plans? You talked a little bit about it. What's your ultimate goal? What do you hope to do because of a scholarship that you've received?
Yeah, my goal is to become an agricultural educator in my future, becoming ag teacher. So just be in the classroom. My ag teachers that I've had 3 in my high school career. They've all made an impact on me in some way, shape, or form. And it's really my goal to be able to impact students the way I was impacted, and also to grow the agricultural industry, which I've grown to so appreciate.
Wonderful. Well, if you have interest or somebody you know has interest in helping us grow our scholarship program so we can continue to offer scholarships to our wonderful FFA students, please reach out. You can find our information on the Minnesota FFA Foundation website. But we have so many ways that students are able to participate in camps, participate in FFA, or attend college because of the scholarships that we offer. We're really, really excited. One last question.
What's up?
Ella, What does the blue jacket mean to you?
To me, as I said before, the FFA jacket really means a big community and an extra family that I have built in. It's really fun to be able to just point people out in a crowd and say, hey, I've met them at an event before. I recognize their face. And just be able to know that you have people in your corner backing you up.
Wonderful. Thank you for being with us today. We really appreciate it. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to get all three of us up here on the
All
stage
right,
at the
let's
Great
do it.
Minnesota Give Together. Okay, Val, we forgot that there are some fantastic prizes for those that have been giving tonight.
Right, so following the telethon, there's still time to get your donation in. There will be some prizes drawn, and a big shout out and thanks to the University of Minnesota, especially a shout out to C-Fans. They have donated 2 tickets to the upcoming Celebrate Ag and Food Day. So when the Golden Gophers are playing football, we want you to be there. Compliments of C-Fans. Additionally, they have provided some passes to the Bell Museum, and if you haven't seen the Bell Museum, it is gorgeous.
It's a sight. I haven't been there in a few years, but it is amazing. Have you been there, Amanda?
I have. It's beautiful.
So we've got 2 4-packs of passes to get you into the Bell Museum. That should entice a few of you. We've got the 2 tickets to a University of Minnesota basketball game. Choose between the men's and the women's game. That's compliments of Regent James Farnsworth.
That's going to be a tough one.
Oh my gosh. How do you choose?
How do
Very
you choose?
good.
You got to flip a coin.
And then for those of you who are like, you know, I'd rather stay home and enjoy some really good meat, the University of Minnesota Meat Lab has donated a basket full of goodies, so you certainly don't want to miss out on that. There's still summer weather available, so grilling.
Get that grill out,
Exactly. So we are so excited. We've had a lot of great stories up here. We've had wonderful talent acts, and in the next half an hour, we're going to announce the winner of the FFA's Got Talent. But remember, this is a telethon, and our goal is really to secure dollars that help support these young men and women as they continue to develop.
Right, and Val and Amanda, what do we like to say? There's no gift too
big
or
too small.
And so you can give by texting Great MN Gives to 50155. Again, Great MN Gives to 50155.
There are so many people and organizations that have already given their support. So if you've made your gift online, be sure to know we appreciate all that you have done. There's still time. We want to get everybody involved. But again, we want to give a big shout out to our Blue Ribbon sponsors, which this year are Ag Partners, Ag Country, CoBank, the Dakota County Elks Association, Land O'Lakes, and Minnesota State Southern Center of Excellence in Agriculture. Our matching sponsor, I know that Ron and Judy Nelson would love to see that full gift matched with your contribution today.
And Val, I know you were looking at numbers about 45 minutes ago, so it might not be the most exact number, but where are we as we are striving to reach our goal?
We're sitting at about $13,000, which is certainly a solid gift to the valuable work that we're doing, but we'd love to see that number grow, and it can grow yet tonight.
Yeah, so many ways to support. Again, want to encourage you to text MN or Great MN Gives to 51055. Great MN Gives to 51055.
Well, we have had such great conversations. I hope you've enjoyed the journey so far. We've talked to students, and you get a little glimpse into the life-changing experiences that they're experiencing through the FFA, but you'll never fully understand it until you get a chance to sit down with those students. And I know all of us have done that. It is rewarding to watch these people grow.
These students are amazing. They are eager, they are passionate, they are committed. They are here giving of their time freely on a Sunday afternoon. You know, one of them, I can't remember, said they're headed to college on Friday, and to think that they are volunteering their time with FFA right before they head to college for their freshman year is phenomenal. I'm always just excited. I'm hopeful every time I spend time with our FFA students.
Well, it's exciting when I think about we're standing right outside the FFA Chapter House and Leadership Center, the CHS Miracle Birth Center. These two buildings are celebrating their 20th anniversary. What's really even more special than just that number is the thousands of people that FFA members have helped understand agriculture. They've had an opportunity to interact and really be spokespeople for agriculture. So if you haven't made your way through those two buildings, certainly want to do that.
We're really excited to move on as we introduce Region 7, which is our next region to feature tonight. Tell us what happens in Region 7, Val.
You know, they're a very active region of the state. We see a lot of young people achieve a lot of success. I think that's a testament to the quality of the programs, the teachers that care and give so much of their time and effort. So we love those FFA members and we want to celebrate them. They come to us from the southern part of the state, kind of that southwestern, south central. Again, just welcome you and invite you to take a look as we travel through Region 7.
Hi, I'm Abigail Bowers, serving as the Region 7 president. My favorite FFA memory is experiencing National Convention for the first time. Nationals to me is more than just somewhere you go to compete. For me, I wasn't even competing, yet I got to go with a girl from our chapter who was competing along with many members who weren't. We got to experience all the fun in Indianapolis as well as all the fun at the National Convention Center. My favorite thing about it was just getting to meet all the new people and having so many connections, especially with all the little shops that were there. That's something I really didn't think I would enjoy, but being able to make connections with all of the people who were selling there is my favorite thing.
I'm Jaden Wenzel, and I'm currently serving as your Region 7 parliamentarian. I joined FFA to learn more about agriculture, and I have, through CDEs, LDEs, and leadership camps.
Hi, I'm Kylie Kozalik, currently serving as your Region 7 FFA reporter. Something that's been a truly impactful experience for me as an FFA member has been making the connections. Whether I've flown across the country to attend WLC or gone on a 5-hour drive up to Deep Portage, I've made so many connections. Between new friends, new resources, or role models, I have so many connections that continue to help me be a better FFA member. I hope that you too can experience these moments through different FFA events and have new friendships too.
Hi, I'm Ivy O'Rourke, and I'm serving as your Region 7 treasurer. I really like being a part of FFA because I've grown up to it my whole entire life. I got to see my sister be a part of the Region 7 officer team, and that's always made me want to become an officer and be able to grow my connections throughout Region 7. We have such a great connection and so many people that we can meet everyone from everywhere, and there's so many people to meet.
Hi, my name is Jameson Connolly, and I am currently serving as the Region 7 secretary. My favorite memories from FFA aren't about the competitions I've won or the awards I've won, but they're about the connections I've made with members and advisors, whether it's at a leadership event, CDE, or LDE. These connections are ones that I can take and make more memories with down the line, whether it's at future state and national conventions, or if it's at camps up north in Deep Portage.
Hi, my name is Chloe, and I'm part of the Maple River chapter in Region 7. Last year, I was part of the poultry team, and last year was also my first year of FFA. I love Region 7 because it's both fun and competitive. It was fun when I went to my region competition, and I was also able to see parts of Green Hand Day. Green Hand Day is cool because I got to see other people my age engaged in Region 7 FFA. I look forward to participating in future fun Region FFA events like Region Volleyball. I love having fun, so I love that Region 7 has fun and engaging events. Also love that Region 7 is so competitive. I love to see Region 7 thrive in LDEs, CDEs, and SAEs. It's cool to see us perform well at state. I love Region 7 because it is fun and competitive, and I'm so grateful to be part of Region 7. Thank you.
Hello, this is Keith Sexton from the Tri-City United FFA chapter. One of the things I love about Region 7 is how welcoming everybody is. Every time I go to a CDE or LDE event or to a Region Leadership Day, all the advisors and members and leaders want to make connections and make everybody feel welcome.
It wasn't me, it was a team of people that believed in what FFA had done for us, and we made a commitment to figure this thing out together. So I actually grew up in Iowa, little town of Cresco. The connection here is that's the home of Dr. Norman Borlaug. Candidly, in In the era that I was in high school, in my hometown, there were two things that ruled the school. FFA ruled the school, and wrestling ruled the school. So if you were in both wrestling and in FFA, you were part of the cool crowd, if you will, in high school. At the time, my parents had the farm implement business, so it was a natural for me. I did not grow up on a farm. As far as what FFA did for me was obviously the ability to sit here and have a conversation. Public speaking built my confidence up, gave me a purpose within my day-to-day life to really serve others, which I get to continue to do today. Immediately within the Iowa State community, FFA gave me a common bond, and there were people I knew from FFA activities from other towns that were in my classes at Iowa State. So it was an immediate connectivity, the ability to go into a room and meet new people, have the confidence and the courage to engage others, which led me on a career in sales. I became a partner with a publishing company, which most of the FFA advisors in Minnesota will know. Hobart Publications created materials for ag education instruction. Spent a little over 2 years with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, helping them on a project come out of COVID. So how does FFA tie into all of that? It's the people, it's the relationships, it's understanding how to relate to different audiences at different times, and then invite them into the work that you're doing. And that's the secret sauce to building my business, to the work I did with St. Jude, to the work I'm doing now. I tell people that my personal and professional mission are aligned, and that is to help individuals and organizations get where they want to go. And so there was a core group of 5 or 6 of us that really worked together to help reimagine what could the FFA Foundation in Minnesota do. And I think, why did we do that? We did that because we saw what FFA did for us and continues to give back. When I speak to groups now, I share that I'm a product of FFA. We're excited to give wherever the need is greatest. I mean, the Blue Jackets Bright Futures program has been a fun spot to see how we're directly impacting students. And then just giving back, it's hard to get sponsors and donors necessarily to give back to the general fund. We want to be part of that core group of funders and fuelers. The relationships I have continued to grow and flourish with people that I met when I was a high school FFA member.
Hi, I'm Abigail Bauer from the Medford FFA chapter. I'm currently serving as the Region 7 president. I'd just like to thank you all for all of your support.
Hi, my name is Kylie Kozalik from the United South Central FFA chapter, and I'm currently serving as your Region 7 reporter.
Hi, I'm Abby O'Rourke from the United South Central FFA chapter, and I'm currently serving as your Region 7 treasurer.
Hi, my name is Jamison Connolly. I'm from the Belle Plaine FFA chapter, and I am currently serving as your Region 7 secretary.
Hi, I'm Jaden Wenzel from the Blue Prairie FFA chapter, and I'm currently serving as your Region 7 parliamentarian.
Hello, this is Thomas Schaus from the Tri-City United FFA chapter, and I'm here to highlight a few of the things that I love about our region. So the first thing that I love about our region is our strong leaders throughout the entirety of it. The chapters on the chapter, region, and even our state level. And another thing that I love about our region is our CDE competitions.
Hi everyone, my name is Emerson Braun, and I am from the Medford FFA chapter in Region 7. My favorite part about Region 7 is all the opportunities that the region offers for their members.
Hi, my name is McKenna Reeder, and I'm from the NRHEG FFA chapter. Right now I'm at the Freeborn County Fair held in Albertley, Minnesota, which is also part of Region 7. My favorite part about Region 7 isn't just the contests and the events, but it's the people. We're all hardworking, I've learned to be a better leader, and I love all the opportunities that have been given throughout this region. I've met so many great people, and I've accomplished so many things because people have pushed me to be a better person and a harder worker. If I had to choose a favorite region, it'd definitely be Region 7, and I'm proud to represent it.
Hi FFA, my name is Lauren Kemp. I'm currently part of the Belle Plaine FFA chapter, serving as the secretary. We are part of Region 7. There are numerous reasons on why I love being part of Region 7. But the main reason that I love being part of Region 7 is all the new people that I get to meet each day. I know I meet new people going to leadership conferences and the competitions that we get to go to. I know one of the main friends that I've made is Jamison Conley. I've been in FFA since I was in 7th grade, and he has been there to lead me through every step of the way.
My name is Yo-Yo Farrow, and I love being a part of Region 7 because of its wonderful community whose colorful and diverse personalities, wide range of skills and specialties, and healthy competitive attitude make it like no other. To a community who is so special to me and everyone else who has been honored by being a part of it, I will always love being a part of Region 7.
Well, wasn't it exciting learning a little bit more about Region 7? I spent a good amount of time in that part of the state.
That's true, that's true. Well, Jasmine, we've come to an extremely fun part of this year's telethon. It is the FFA's Got Talent. Winner is going to be announced.
I'm so excited about it. I can't believe I've been given the envelope.
That's true, right? Well, we appreciate everybody who has performed. We're going to welcome some of our contestants back on stage. They do not know how this is going to go, but I will share real quickly that all of our performers tonight will get scholarships, so we are so grateful that you are with us today.
And just another round of applause. Can we give them a round of applause for their talent that they graciously gave to us today? Can we say thank you so much? We're going to have you come down a little bit more. Okay, we're following some stage directions in real time. This is what happens in real time. So I'm going to go in reverse order. Is that okay?
I think that's wonderful. And again, I want to just say you all have performed beautifully. I will say that in visiting with the judges who were out and among the crowd, this was a very tough decision. So please know that all of your performances were truly valued.
They were so valuable and they were so good. And you all are getting scholarships. So in fourth place, we have Daniel Dock from Royalton, and I don't see Daniel in the audience anymore, but let's give him a round of applause. In third place, we have Carly Loke. Thank you. Come up front, Carly.
Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you very much. In second place, and I guess I should add that Carly, you are going to receive a $100 scholarship for third place. Thank you very much. In second place, we have Anna Yang from Highland. Congratulations. So beautiful. So beautiful. And you are going to receive a $300 scholarship. Thank you so much. So that means our first place winner is the beautiful Kylie Miner, who will receive a $500 scholarship. Thank you and congratulations. Thank you all again for being a part of the first rendition of FFA Minnesota's Got Talent. We truly appreciate all of you. Y'all were amazing. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, as we exit the stage again, let's give our talent contestants a round of applause. All right, well, I know we've got another special guest coming forward, and she looks pretty perky considering this is day like 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 for you.
Thank you, Val.
Oh, wow. We have a very special guest. This girl and I, this woman and I, Natasha Mortensen, we go
back a while.
We go back a while, so it's really an honor to be here with you this
Yes,
evening.
me too.
Thank you for saying yes. Why don't you introduce yourself, Natasha?
Thank you. My name is Natasha Mortensen. I'm lucky to work with Minnesota FFA and Minnesota FFA alumni and supporters.
You bleed agriculture,
I do.
Natasha.
I do.
mean, do you want to give us a little background about your personal connection to agriculture?
Sure, I would love to. So I grew up on a row crop farm in western Minnesota, and today our family still farms on that same row crop farm, and we raise beef cattle. Our children also bleed agriculture. They are both just out of college and working in agriculture. My daughter is an agriculture teacher at the Wilmore High School, and my son is back on the family farm and also just trying all sorts of other things in agriculture, trying to kind of find his sweet spot. So that's where I fit, and I'm always trying to find new ways to give back to agriculture, and especially to students, because I want them to find where they fit too.
You definitely believe in the future of agriculture, and not only exposing children, but exposing adults, exposing those like unconventional adults like Amanda we had. I really appreciate your efforts. So what exactly do you do in your role with FFA?
So I kind of work in two different parts. So with the Minnesota FFA Association, I get to work in the career area. So in FFA, we have career development events and leadership development events, and we've heard students talking about them tonight. This is kind of their competitions that they go on the road. The things they're learning in the classroom, they're taking and competing against other students and other schools. And they go to regional events, and then they come to state events, and they can go to national events. Things like livestock judging or floriculture or
parliamentarian procedures.
Parliamentary procedures, public speaking. So I help organize a lot of those events on the state level. I help a little bit on the region level, and then help coordinate some of the stuff to the national level for our Minnesota students. So I'm working on trying to have more and more opportunities for students to explore careers in agricultural education and pathways. So we're always trying to come up with more ways for them to know what their opportunities are in agriculture, food and natural resources, and the other pathways in agriculture through the FFA organization in Minnesota. My other part of my job is with the Minnesota Alumni and Supporters, so helping our board, Amanda was up here earlier, helping our board come up with a lot of opportunities for the people in Minnesota that used to be members or just want to support the FFA members in Minnesota in their communities and the state by giving them resources or putting on activities or events to help them give back to the FFA members here too.
Yeah, I was really excited about what Amanda said the Alumni Association was doing, really helping the students with that transition from college into working full time.
Yes,
and providing some mentoring and even like some coaching there that seemed really impactful.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do, and so it's so fun to be a part of it and to be with all these adults and the alumni and supporters that all they want to do is help students. And they just want to give
just like
their time.
you.
They just want to give their time and do that, and it's so cool. So we're always looking for people. You do not have to have wore the blue jacket. If you just want to help kids have opportunities and do that, you can be a part of that organization.
I think that's a very important point that you made, that you do not have had to have worn the blue jacket to support FFA.
Yeah.
So I know that you did wear the blue jacket.
I did.
And I know that you were also an ag educator.
I was.
So
yeah.
besides your professional involvement, on a personal note, think about, little old Natasha so many years ago. What does FFA mean to you?
I grew up on a row crop farm, and it was, during the 80s, which wasn't a great time to live on a farm. And my dad and mom, struggled. It wasn't like the easiest to be on a farm in the 80s. And I remember thinking I didn't really want to do a lot.
We remember that farm crisis.
Yeah, it was tough. And I remember not really being really proud to be from a farm, I guess, at that age. And then I got into my agriculture class as a 9th grader, and I went to my first national convention, and I thought, this is like the coolest thing ever. I thought FFA was so cool, and I decided as a 9th grader to be an ag teacher. FFA played a huge role in my future. I don't think I would have been able to love agriculture as much as I do now and have done all the things I've done with FFA and agriculture education if I wouldn't have stepped foot in that 9th grade ag class as a freshman in high school, and learn to love my livelihood of my parents. It totally changed my whole life and my whole perspective on the generations of my family that worked in agriculture and farming.
Yeah. I used to always say that I married into agriculture, and I think with you and you being so patient with me, I changed my story, and I said, actually through marriage, I was able to return to agriculture.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, I think of my grandfather being a sharecropper, and people wanted to get away from agriculture because they thought there was a different kind of opportunity. But agriculture is so important not only to the U.S. economy, it is especially important to Minnesota. And so many of us have these roots, whether or not we wore the blue jacket or we didn't. And it's about finding the bridges that we can connect with.
Absolutely. It's so much a part of most of our backgrounds. If you go back generations, most of the people have a connection to a farm and agriculture. We don't as much. Farming has changed, right? So we don't as much, but we all eat. So we all do depend on agriculture, food, and natural resources. We obviously depend on natural resources, and a lot of that education happening in our agriculture education classrooms and in the FFA organization. We need these students to continue learning that, to keep that tradition alive.
Yeah,
And
just like the experiential ag in the classroom.
Yes.
I mean,
Yep,
amazing work.
It's all important. And supporting the FFA Foundation supports all the things we're talking about, like all of this. So the alumni and supporters, the FFA students, the ag education classes, this organization that we're talking about tonight supports all of that. So if you give to them, they do all of it.
That's what we do at the Minnesota FFA Foundation. We are the nonprofit arm that can provide funding directly to touch the students, the ag educators, and provide amazing experiences and connect with the alumni.
Yep, all of it.
Okay, what else do you want to share with us, Natasha? I mean, we've been talking about
How much longer do I have? I mean, I can talk a
I know
lot.
you can talk. It's so funny. I was doing,
I have 2 minutes.
I was
Perfect.
doing an icebreaker the other day, and one of the questions was, what's something that you could talk about for 20 minutes? So, Natasha, what can you share? I'm not even going to give you the full 2 minutes in 90 seconds.
Okay, so I will go on my soapbox about giving back in your communities. I know that a lot of people listening right now, maybe a lot of people out here, you maybe have something to give or some knowledge to give, and a lot of us wait around waiting for someone to ask us to give back. And if you are working in agriculture, food, natural resources, power structural and technical systems, you're working in a shop in manufacturing, food science, whatever it may be, the wheel of agriculture education is pretty big. And you think I could probably...
You could even be working in an office.
In an office in ag business.
Being an accountant.
Yes, in finance, in ag business, right? And you think, like, I could probably help students learn something, or I could probably be a resource for an agriculture education teacher. They do not have time to reach out to you. I promise they don't. I was an ag teacher for 14 years. They don't have time, but they would love it if you gave them a call or sent them an email and said, I would like to come in and talk to your students. Or do you want to come and bring students to visit our farm or our business or whatever it may be? Or if you want to donate something to their program or donate money or do a scholarship. If you have an idea, people would love to hear from you. But if you're waiting for someone to reach out to you, that's probably not going to happen. So my soapbox moment here is please reach out. Please
be
call
proactive.
Be proactive.
If you have an interest, make a call.
Yes, make
Do
a
a
call.
Google search.
And you can literally just look up your local school district and find the ag teacher on the website. You can call the school and say, hey, I want to find out who the agriculture teacher is, the FFA advisor is, and they will connect you. It is not hard. You can get that information and give them what you're thinking, and they will help you figure it out. But people want you to do that. People want you to get back. People want to know your expertise. Ag teachers are the jack of all trades, master of not many of them. So they need you, and they want you to help them.
Okay, Natasha, I know you were a teacher, an ag educator. Thank you very much for the permission slip that you've given our live audience and our viewers. You now have permission to take action if you want to support agriculture education in the state of Minnesota or wherever you're watching. And then we also want to encourage you to give, because after all, this is the Great Minnesota Give Together. Please text Great MN Gives to 51055. And we've got Val coming back up.
Yes, give all your money. We need it. Thank you.
Wow, well, if you don't know Natasha personally, there's a lot of passion there as she talked about her involvement both as an ag teacher, an FFA advisor, her role with the FFA Association and the alumni. So you will have a chance to visit with Natasha if you come visit us here at the fair. I am joined by Matea. Matea is our state FFA vice president. Matea, you're from the Randolph FFA chapter. Tell us what your activities have been while you're a member of the Randolph FFA.
Yes, so one of the things that I'm involved in is a supervised agricultural experience. So for me, this looks like raising a boar goat herd. So I have had around 20 boar goats at a time. I'm in charge of things like vaccinations, daily chores, and just their daily care, so different things like that. Aside from that, our chapter is very involved in fruit sales. We have a corn drive that we do, and we donate our proceeds to Camp Courage, so that's pretty exciting. I also show livestock, so that's something I do at the Minnesota State Fair here. So I show sheep, goats, and dairy cattle.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that corn drive for Camp Courage. Now I believe they go by True Friends, but it's that same important work. We've talked a lot about leadership tonight, but one of the areas I don't think we've talked about a lot is that service element that is very much a part of every FFA program. What is the corn drive for those who might not be as familiar with the corn drive?
Yeah, so this is just one of the things that our chapter does. We like to go around, collect corn or proceeds from different people, and then we take all of the money from that and we're able to use it to give back to our community, especially because everyone's so great for our chapter. They're all such our biggest supporters. So we like to use that as a way to just give back and serve the members of our community.
Well, over the course of the decades that FFA chapters have raised dollars for Camp Courage, now True Friends, FFA chapters have given over, I think it's $7 million to support young people who otherwise might not be able to experience camp due to physical limitations. One of the other traits that I think is very notable about your chapter is a tractor parade. Have you been part of it? And please share with our audience what that looks like.
Yes, yeah. So we have so many members of the community that come together on one day in the spring, and they all drive their tractors around town. Randolph's not a very big area, but it's really fun to see people from surrounding areas come in and take their tractors. My cousins are pretty big into farming, and so they've let me ride in the tractor with them. So that's been pretty fun, but definitely something that Randolph is known for.
Well, that's a nice segue, too, to say that FFA members here at the State Fair have been competing in the Safe Tractor Driving Contest. I think that's, again, shows the breadth of this organization. Well, Mateo, you've already come off of some really neat activities this summer. You've held some camps and conferences. What has that meant to you to be a leader for sharing information with other members?
It's been really incredible getting to meet members this summer. We had a few different camps. We went to Timberland earlier this year, and then we were able to put on our own camps. So we had a Green Hand camp and then a camp for chapter leaders. So it's been really fun getting to meet these members, get to know them, get to know their stories, and how they can relate back to agriculture as well.
Well, we've had a great time so far, this far into the telethon. We're sitting here in front of a lot of people who are enjoying some really tasty treats. And I have to ask, do you have a favorite? When you're here at the fair, what is that go-to for you?
I would have to say a malt from the Gopher Dairy Bar, for sure. Ice cream is one of my favorite things, so definitely the place that I go to most during our fair.
Well, that sounds great, and that sounds like a very fun treat. I have to give a shout out to our friends over with the Turkey to Go. If you haven't had a chance to have one of their sandwiches, you need to do that, and we're very appreciative of the support of our friends with Minnesota Turkey as well. Okay, now, as we think about this FFA encampment this coming weekend, as a state officer, you'll have some roles and responsibilities. Do you know what they are, or is that yet to be determined?
Yes, so we'll be participating in a few media interviews throughout the week, representing our 16,000 members. Additionally, we will be helping out with the shows, handing out ribbons, and then at the end of our encampment, we put on our awards program to highlight all of our wonderful members. On Sunday night, we also have a dance, so that's going to be a pretty fun thing that many people are looking forward to.
Well, another activity that people will want to tune in or either be here for personally or tune in is the awards program that takes place on Monday, Labor Day. Again, that's when you get to see a lot of students that are achieving success. We work a lot, you will, of course, with the State FFA Convention, which happens in April. Some students strive and make accomplishments toward something at State Convention. But this state fair is also significant for people. Have you interacted with people that this is really what their goal is all year long, to do well here at the Minnesota State Fair?
Yes. I know so many people that show livestock, and they put so much time and dedication into their projects. I know myself, I show sheep, goats, and dairy cattle, like I said before, and that's just a big part of what I do year-round. Just making sure the animals are taken care of properly. And so they put all this time in, and it's really great for them to be able to showcase all of their hard work. And it's just something that they really look forward to, especially because so many friends come from being involved in FFA, and you get to see them while you're here at the Minnesota State Fair.
So as people are walking around this weekend, and even now coming through the FFA chapter house, the CHS Miracle of Birth Center, you know, are FFA members approachable? Can they come and talk to you and ask questions about this organization, the livestock, or other exhibits?
Absolutely. These members love getting questions. They love telling you about these animals and just advocating for agriculture.
Well, we're excited. It's been a great run so far, but we have one region left to highlight. That's Region 8, which happens to be your region. But we're excited to just shine a light on all the outstanding activities. So with that, we're going to throw it to our Region 8 video. Okay, cool. Thank you.
My name is Greta, and I am Region 8 FFA.
I'm Cooper, and I am Region 8 FFA.
My name is Olivia, and I am Region 8 FFA.
My name is Emerson, and I am Region 8 FFA.
My name is Katrina, and I am Region 8.
Hello, Minnesota. My name is Dawson. I am Region 8.
My name is Ella, and I am Region 8 FFA.
My name is Lillian, and I am Region 8 FFA.
My name is Eliana, and I am Region 8.
My name is Avery Clausen, and I am Region 8 FFA.
Welcome, Minnesota. We are Region 8, and we're excited to have you here and can't wait to share what makes our region such a great place to be an FFA member.
Region 8 is located in southeastern Minnesota and is made up of 34 chapters. Our region is full of small towns, strong agriculture traditions, and hardworking students who are passionate about leadership, service, and agriculture.
This year, our Region 8 officer team is proud to serve under the theme Amplify. Every voice, every member, every chapter. Our goal is to make sure every member feels welcomed, valued, and empowered to find their place in FFA.
Agriculture is at the heart of our communities. You'll find everything from dairy and livestock operations to corn, soybean, and specialty crop production. Our members come from a variety of backgrounds, but we're all connected by a shared passion for agriculture and FFA.
When we're not busy with school or FFA, our members enjoy spending time outdoors. Whether it's fishing on our lakes and rivers, hunting, hiking local trails, or cheering on our hometown teams. There's always something to do. Region 8 is known for its strong work ethic, welcoming communities, and the friendships that make FFA feel like family.
Throughout the year, our 34 chapters stay active with leadership development events, career development events, community service projects, conferences, and chapter activities. These experiences help members build confidence, develop new skills, and prepare for successful futures in agriculture and beyond.
As part of your Region 8 officer team, we're committed to creating opportunities for every member to learn, grow, compete, and have fun. Whether this is your first year in FFA or you've been involved for years, we want to amplify every voice, every member, and every chapter as we work together to make this an incredible year.
Hi Minnesota FFA, my name is Olivia Warpickle, currently serving as the 2026-2027 Minnesota FFA Region 8 President. I first want to start off by sincerely thanking you for taking the time to not only watch our telethon, but also support the lives of so many FFA members across the state of Minnesota. I encourage you to continue watching this video to learn firsthand about the story of an FFA member and how she's first started in the Blue Jacket and is now creating a lasting impact on FFA members across our region and beyond. Thank you.
I am Carolyn Kozalik. I live in Northfield, Minnesota, and grew up near Goodhue, Minnesota. I was a member of the Goodhue FFA chapter. I joined in the late 70s, and I joined as a 9th grade student and was a chapter officer, a district officer, and a state officer. And really ever since that time, I have been connected with FFA one way or another, either through volunteering or being an FFA parent or being an alumni or a foundation donor. I've had many lessons learned in FFA, some due to success, some due to maybe not achieving the goals that I might have set for myself. But I think one thing that really was important to us as a FFA chapter was teamwork, working with our classmates. Sometimes you were working with people you were really good friends with. Other times it was people you just did not know as well. But you all had to pull together and, get the chapter banquet off the ground or get a project at the fairgrounds pulled together. And so I think the teamwork that we learned and the skills we learned from other people are something that has helped me over the years, is just to know, you don't have to do it alone, and often you don't have the skills to do projects alone. But drawing on other people's talents and working as a team is something that has carried with me through life. While serving as a state FFA officer, a person really had to reach out to other people, make conversation with other people of all ages, of all backgrounds, and just get to know where other people were coming from. And I think that is something that has stuck with me over the years. We've lived in different cities, we've lived in a couple different states, and you have to get to know people and you have to reach out. And some of those skills that we learned in FFA, whether it was talking to Congress people or to donors or to ag teachers that we may not have known well, the skills in communications has really served me well, and it was a kind of the groundwork or where you learned to reach out and get to know people. As a parent of an FFA member, I think, we watched and we saw all the hard work that our student, our child, put into FFA. We maybe saw some frustrating moments. We saw a lot of joyous moments. But just knowing the hard work and the determination that FFA brings out in its students was just very heartwarming and very rewarding. Of the employees we have at our farm implement dealerships in southeast Minnesota, which covers a big part of Region 8, large percentage of them have had a background in ag and ag classes and the FFA program, and many of them were members of FFA right here in Region 8. It is the skills that they have learned and they can bring to our dealership are excellent. Many were involved in ag mechanics. Many were FFA officers. Many were district FFA officers or region. So I think investing in the future of our young people in our area and in the state of Minnesota is just going to be beneficial to our ag businesses as the years go forward. Over the last several years, I have had the opportunity to attend the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, as well as the state convention held at the University of Minnesota. And every time I go, it takes extra effort to get there. I might have to reschedule some things to make the time, but I am absolutely never disappointed when I see all of these young people and the positive attitudes and the hard work that they have put in. I am continually inspired, and I go home feeling really good about what the organization is doing, the direction it's going, and the fact that I have some opportunities and actually do support the future of the FFA Foundation. I think it's important for ag businesses, former FFA members, people who are friends of agriculture and friends of FFA to continue to donate to the Minnesota State FFA Foundation as a way to keep this great program going and the great events and opportunities it offers to its members going on an annual basis. From everything I understand, the membership in FFA is increasing, and the number of chapters that are either opening for the first time or reopening is increasing. So the needs are ever present. But there's a lot of enthusiasm among members, and we just want to keep our ag future bright, and I believe FFA is one of the very best ways to do that.
All right, we're working our way through Region 8, and there's so many great stories in this part of the state, so come on over as my guest for this part. Come on over, Greta. I have a special guest today. She is the Assistant Officer for Region 8 FFA. Greta Hemmington is from the Pine Island FFA chapter. Greta, why don't you tell us about your FFA experiences?
So I joined FFA when I was no longer able to do sports, and I remembered that I really love horses. So I decided to get involved in our horse evaluation team, and then I found the aspects of leadership and also agriculture that FFA provides. I went from having pretty much no experience in agriculture to being involved and working with 3 different species through the support of my advisor and my local FFA members. And I've really learned so much. I've gained so many leadership skills. I think when I first joined, I don't know if doing something like this would have been possible for me. And being able to do it and feel confident in what I'm doing and feeling supported by so many others and just having so much education that I've gained.
Well, it's fun to hear you say that this has helped you grow and develop. I think for some of the audience here, we're kind of curious when you talk about horse evaluation. When you are looking at a class of 4 horses, what are some of the things that you're looking for?
So we're looking for who overall matches what we call type, which is really how well they fit their breed description. We're looking for conformation, which is overall how their body looks put together. Can they walk right? Do they have a nice and deep chest? Different things like that. And then we're also looking for balance. How well does everything go together? And in CDs like livestock evaluation, it kind of goes similarly. And I've done that one a few times.
Well, as I hear you say that, I realize that not everybody is going to be in a position where you evaluate horses. But what I'm also hearing is really that you're learning skills that are transferable and allow you to kind of look through and make decisions based on the scenario in front of you. Mm-hmm. Does that sound right?
Yes, for sure. So one of the things in agriculture that I've been involved in is beginning to start my own starter flock of sheep. Coming from a non-agricultural background, my family lives in town. And one thing that's came with that, and then as a direct result of FFA, is that I've really learned the value of resilience and responsibility. There are a lot of hard things that come with shepherding, and I've definitely learned a lot of that. But I just have to keep going there and keep going strong and doing what I'm supposed to do. And that has helped so much in different things in my life, having that responsibility and that resilience.
Well, I grew up on a farm as well, and we raised sheep, so I could guess maybe what some of those hardships are, but I'm going to have you tell us. I think one of the things that comes to mind for me is that is giving birth in the middle of the night, and you want to make sure that those little lambs are born healthy and safe. What are some of the things that you've learned that have kind of made you be a little bit tough and ready to embrace the situation?
I think some things that I've learned is definitely having to help through sickness and be able to take care of and regulate my own emotions when things can be kind of tough, and then doing the most rational thing, thinking of how I can help take care of typically that ewe and what she needs, which is really important because when we're dealing with livestock, if emotions get too much in the way, I'm going to end up cuddling my sheep and my rams constantly, and then nothing is really going to get done around the farm, right? So different things like that.
Sure. Well, what's next for you in the FFA? Are you going to be exhibiting here during FFA encampment? Are you planning to go to some additional conferences? I know when we were visiting earlier, you've done a lot of them. You've attended Washington Leadership Conference. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about that? And before you do, I have to quickly say, supporting the Minnesota FFA Foundation gives students opportunities like the Washington Leadership Conference.
So I got the privilege of attending Washington Leadership Conference earlier this summer, and it was absolutely incredible. We were in Washington, D.C., and we got to learn all about leadership, and part of that was all about servant leadership, which is a topic that's really important to me. In the future, I'm looking forward to initiating my Leading to Serve plan, which is a core part of FFA, and working on enacting more service into my community. I'm hoping to implement more livestock education around for people like me in particular who are first generation to it. In the future of FFA in general for me, next weekend I will be working in the wonderful Miracle of Birth Center, which I am beyond excited to do. And then in September, we have our Fall Leadership Day in Region 8, where members from all around can come and learn more about leadership and FFA. And we also offer some different tours, so then they can learn more about their future careers.
Well, what I heard for everybody listening in person or online is that they need to come and visit you this coming weekend in the CHS Miracle Birth Center. A little bit of a history that evolved out of the FFA barnyard, and so people had been visiting that for decades, but this building has been in place for 20 years and is a great opportunity for people to come and visit with students and learn about the animals and really experience something that they might not see in their everyday. Well, we're excited that you are here. We are happy that you have had a chance to meet with some people and that you're willing to do that again. Well, I want to thank you for being with us. I'm going to invite another guest up here who plays another very active role in the CHS Miracle Birth Center, Mr. Mike Miron. All right, Mike, I've known you for a long time, and a lot of that time now is here at the CHS Miracle Birth Center. But what is your day job?
I'm a teacher at Forest Lake Area High School.
And what are your responsibilities there? I know that you teach the agriculture classes, but you're also very much a community builder. You're building opportunities for students within your community. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, in addition to teaching agriculture and being an FFA advisor, I also am the work-based learning teacher at the school and support our career and technical education programs.
So I know I was overhearing you say you start school
Tomorrow.
So he's looking pretty good at the start of the school year. That's great. Before you get there, though, let's talk a little bit about your job here. You are a manager here within the CHS Miracle Birth Center. What does that all entail?
Well, certainly there's managing the facility during the fair, but there's a lot of logistics that happen here to get ready for all of our fair guests. So from the FFA members that serve as volunteers that you've been interacting with today, to the animals and the livestock, to the setting up of the facility. So there's a lot of work that happens to get ready for the 12 days of the fair.
Do we have an estimate of how many people actually go through the Miracle Birth Center?
Boy, you know, we don't stand out with clickers, so we never really know, but we figure about a third of the folks that come to the fair end up coming through the Miracle Birth Center at some point in time.
Well, that's pretty impressive, and I think about, you know, as I look out over the fairgrounds today, a lot of people are here yet, still making their way through the building and seeing those animals and exhibits. You know, when people come in, can you kind of summarize what are people's reactions or questions, or is it really all over the board?
Yeah, it really is all over the board, but, you know, we realize that this is a tremendous opportunity for us to interact with individuals who probably don't have farm experience. This might be the closest interaction that they're going to have with an animal, and it certainly gives our FFA members an opportunity who probably do come from livestock farms to be able to share their animal agriculture story with our guests. So not only are the fair guests able to interact with and see the animals, but they're able to hear about the supervised agricultural experiences and the FFA activities that the FFA members are doing back at home.
So if a person wants to have a question answered and they're like, this is just not a really great question, they're a little timid, I would guess the answer would be the same as what you tell your students, like it's okay to ask, right? So if they come in there and they wonder why a certain procedure has been done, or maybe what the feed is, or the animal care practice, can they ask that question?
Oh, absolutely. We welcome all the questions. That's why we're here. You know, certainly there's births going on in the building, and that's a great attraction and draw. But the reality is that when most people come in, they're not going to see a live birth in action at that moment in time. And so that's our opportunity to engage, to answer questions, to share. This is, as an agriculture teacher, in some ways, this is an extension of the classroom. It's just that our learners look different. And so we approach it the same way that we would with learners coming to school tomorrow that have a question to ask, and we want to make sure that we're here to educate and inform.
Wow, well, I think about all the years of experience. You were active in the FFA as a student. Now you have, I'll call it a privilege, to really walk beside these young people. What has been so rewarding for you as a student going through the FFA, then as an advisor, and you reflect on that? What has it been like?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many awesome moments along that journey. But I would say here, you know, at the CHS Miracle Birth Center, not only just the day-to-day interaction with fairgoers, but a lot of the folks that are my coworkers now were once the FFA Barneys that I helped supervise back when. And so we're able to see a progression of people who also catch the spirit of the fair and catch the mission of the CHS Miracle Birth Center, and they want to continue to be engaged long-term, long after their service as an FFA member is done.
Well, I know you have a couple adorable little kids of your own, and I'm assuming at some point you'll encourage them to join the FFA. What will you tell them is really the benefit of being involved in this organization?
Yeah, just the leadership development, the breadth of opportunities, and I think that's what I gained as a member. That's what I've seen my students be able to take advantage of, is that whether it's a technical agriculture skill or a leadership development area, or you want to serve your local community, there's so many opportunities for you to plug in those passions that really fill your cup and help you understand what you want to do long term.
Right, right. Well, this coming weekend, of course, there's going to be 1,000 or so FFA members come. Again, people should come visit the CHS Miracle Birth Center, the FFA chapter house. But as you guide your students through the next few days, you know, this coming weekend, what's some advice you have for them? I mean, it could be visiting a yummy treat, or it could be going on a ride. What does it look like for you?
Well, the fair experience is something special for sure. I caught the bug a long time ago. And I think the fair is just a great community where you have an opportunity to interact as well. So whether we have FFA members participating here at the CHS Miracle Birth Center, or they're down in some of our livestock buildings, the mission is the same, and that is really to share our FFA stories with the folks that are coming along.
Well, we're so glad that you shared your FFA story with us. Appreciate your time here and all the work that you've got put into the CHS Miracle Birth Center. That is a partnership between Minnesota FFA, the University of Minnesota Vets, and the Vet Med Association.
Correct.
So certainly it takes all hands on deck to make that a quality experience.
That's for sure.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to welcome Jasmine back on stage. She's got a special guest as well, a member of the Minnesota FFA Foundation Board of Trustees. So, Jasmine, thanks for coming back.
You got two members of the Foundation Board of Trustees up here. You got two of us. Do you want me? I think I'm crossing over here too. No, you come over here too. Yeah.
okay.
I thought you were going to hang out with us, Val. I'm coming back. Oh, you're coming back. Do you need
do.
to leave? Did I call you? Yeah.
Busy lady.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure.
Julie?
My name is Julie Tesh, and I am a member of the Minnesota FFA Board of Trustees. My day job is I'm with the Center for Rural Policy and Development, and we do research on rural policy in Minnesota. And I also work at the State Fair for 4-H doing media, and the telethon is always on Sunday here, so I just happen to be here. Yeah.
And then you're coming back for your fun day at the fair
I'm
where
having
you're
my
not
fun
working?
day when I'm not working on Friday. So
Okay,
nobody
so
needs to know that.
how long have you been on the board?
How long have I been on the board?
7 or 8 years.
7 or 8 years.
I knew before me, so I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
wanna say-
it's you lose track. You know, you enjoy it, you have fun, and you lose track. So once I term out, she'll have to tell me.
Okay, Val, are you monitoring the terms?
I am the timekeeper, yes.
You are the official timekeeper.
Beats me.
So tell us, why do you serve on the board?
You know, I serve on the board. My background is in youth development. I was an extension educator, have a master's degree in education, and so, you know, working with 4-H students was great, but then being able to be with FFA students and being in the background, having led the Minnesota Ag Education Leadership Council, getting to get more involved with FFA members, there's just such a need for this leadership development and for hands-on learning. And I know for me, I didn't have the opportunity to be an FFA, and so being able to provide that opportunity for others is so vital and so important. And you can go into the Miracle of Birth Center here and see the students meeting with people, and it just makes you happy.
And all the passion. And I love this. We had Amanda up earlier, president of the Alumni Association, you, myself, people that are deeply connected and committed to FFA Minnesota, the foundation, the organization, in some shape or form, who have kind of unconventional paths that did not wear the blue jacket. I don't know if you were here when Natasha extended a wonderful invitation to our audience members, to our viewers, to say, like, if you want to support agriculture education in the state of Minnesota, if you want to provide an experience, if you want to provide resources, whether they be financial or in kind, please do some due diligence. She extended a permission slip and encouraged people to call, make a call themselves, do a little research, because she said, you know, our ag educators are stretched to the max. What guidance would you have for somebody maybe watching and wanting to get involved?
The same thing, and our ag teachers are stretched to the max, but I would also say that, talk with your local ag teacher, because you don't want to get in the way. So in a previous life, I was the head of the National FFA Alumni. And so we have so many great volunteers, and they're so passionate, but make sure you work with your local ag teacher. And so that's the most important, and make sure that what you're good at matches what they're looking for.
Well, this has really been a fun evening, and Julie, we're so glad we could kind of get you up on stage here. And as they kind of talk through, you know, obviously these are two caring individuals that serve on the Board of Trustees. And again, we're just saying, get involved, get to know the FFA story and how it can help young people and communities. I oftentimes think, and thinking of your job, Julie, with the Center for Rural Policy and Development, our communities need young people to get opportunities, experience things, and help those communities thrive. And I happen to know you're part of a program that's coming up, Rooted in Rural. Can you share a little bit about why that's so much a passion for you to help communities thrive?
Absolutely. So I grew up in a rural community, town of Waldorf, 201, or outside on a dairy farm, and went away for college and work and everything, moved around the country and moved back 9 years ago. And it's great because we have a rural brain gain. People are coming back when they're
The
between
boomerang.
30, the boomerang. I'm a boomerang. And so it's so wonderful, and we need people in our rural communities. And we don't have enough housing. We don't have enough health care. We don't have enough childcare. People want to move to rural. We don't have the infrastructure. And actually, a report we're putting out on September 22nd talks about career and technical education and how it is foundational in students, one, being employed after high school, but two, being important in their college trajectory as well. And so that's with the Office of Higher Ed. So I'm really excited for all of CTE to get that information.
I love that. Thank you so much. Val, I'm seeing that we're getting some notes. You stay up here with us as a member of the Board of Directors, because we're going to share some good news.
Well, first off, again, we want to thank everybody who has donated so far, and to let you know the giving doesn't have to stop just because we're nearing the end of this program. We have a goal, and we'd like to achieve it, and we need your help. We're getting closer, but we're not quite there
And
yet.
we like to say there's no gift too big.
Or too small.
Yeah, so we want to encourage you. If you've not given, make sure you text to Great MN Gives to 51055.
And we've mentioned there's some great prizes, so we're going to keep that open all night tonight for people to make those donations. We will be giving out those Gopher tickets to the Celebrate Ag and Food Day, so watch some great Gopher football, a choice of men's or women's basketball at the University of Minnesota, some passes to the Bell Museum, as well as a very tasty meat donation for the Meat Lab, a big meat basket. So again, you're going to want to give that donation and text it to 50155.
Yep, and that's Great MN Gives with an S.
And we just really want to thank everybody. This is just kind of an opportunity to help tell this story. So we're getting closer to our goal, which has been to raise $20,000.
$25,000.
$25,000,
Yeah.
yep. But we want to make sure that we get that goal reached. So Jasmine, how have we done?
Okay, so we're a little bit away, but I feel good. I feel good where we are. We are currently sitting at about $18,161.20. So you can help us. We're under $10,000 away from our goal, so I feel good about that. So again, don't forget, please text if you're watching this. Even if you're watching this a little later, if you're like, I missed it on Sunday, if it's Tuesday, you can still text to GREAT MN Gives to 50155. And then, of course, tonight would not have been possible without our amazing sponsors, Val.
Well, we want to give them another shout out. Ag Country Farm Credit Services, Ag Partners, CoBank, Land O'Lakes, the Dakota County Elks, and we had a check presentation here, how exciting that was, and the Minnesota State Southern Agricultural Center of Excellence. And one last shout out for our matching partner, and that was Ron and Judy Nelson. If you have the chance to visit with them, they are very passionate about helping young people through the FFA.
You know, I was talking to Luke, that's our current state president, and he is actually, as of the state president, he's a member of the board of directors, and so he had just made his donation, as I had just made my donation previously. And so I want to also thank the fellow Minnesota FFA Foundation Board of Directors. Julie, I know you gave for giving, and so we are trying to support this at 100% also.
Well, that is another year of the Great Minnesota Give Together.
I can't believe another year of the Great Minnesota Give Together. It has been so much fun. I loved FFA Minnesota's Got Talent. I think it's got to be on the agenda for next year.
I think you're right. The talent that these kids had, and we were able to showcase it with their songs, with their singing, and their dance is one thing. The talent that we tried to give you a glimpse into is all the great activities happening as kids develop their projects and programs, also a talent.
I think I'm coming back to the fair this week because I want to see some of those projects and those presentations in action.
Well, that's it from here at the Minnesota State Fair. Thank you for being part of the 7th annual Minnesota FFA Foundation's Great Minnesota Give Together.
Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next year.